Hurricanes and the Seminoles of Florida State set to do battle here in Tallahassee. Those are biodegradable balloons, by the way. They started that back in the 70s, and then they had to cut it off. Tonight they got new balloons. They've got the same old chop and the same old chant. The Seminoles are ranked 18th in the country, and they take on their in-state rivals, the Hurricanes of Miami. Welcome to Tallahassee, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. You go through the years with these teams. Miami in the last 25 years has won 5 national titles. In the 90s, Florida State won a couple. But, partner, this is 2009. It's been a little bit of a dip, and they're trying to get back up that ladder a little bit.
Well, I think they're both right up there on their way, and I think both teams could contend for this conference championship, get to a BCS Bowl. The teams are almost identical physically and athletically. I think Florida State is maybe one rung up that ladder higher because of the quarterbacks. Christian Ponder is a year older than Miami's Ja'Cory Harris. He has 13 starts under his belt. Ja'Cory only 2. Both guys are very talented young quarterbacks. Both are excellent leaders that really got the attention of their whole team. But I think Florida State's a little above them.
Ponder had a great game last year. Almost a coming out party. 144 yards rushing. Usually the team that rushes the ball best in this series wins.
Yeah, it's a trend. You know why? Because to run the ball, you got to be physical and tough. You don't win Florida State-Miami games with finesse and trickery. You win it with toughness.
Well, it's going to be on Jermaine Thomas for Florida State. Antoine Smith had a big game and a couple of touchdowns a year ago. On the other side, Miami has got 2 great running backs that we're going to see. There's the Seminoles, who were 9-4 a year ago. They lead trail in the series to Miami 30-23, but they won last year in a thriller. They had a 24-0 halftime lead, and Miami came roaring back in a game I called and almost won that ball game. Florida State's won 3 of the last 4. Bobby Bowden has never lost a home opener on this field. He's going to try to make it 15-0 this season if they can win again tonight against the Miami Hurricanes. Chief Osceola and Renegade are about set for the traditional flaming spear to midfield. One of the great scenes involved in one of the great rivalries in all of college sports. It's not just a game here, it's a festival. Here come the Seminoles. Let's check in with the third member of our primetime team, Erin Andrews. EA?
Brad, thanks so much. The future looking so bright for Florida State's football team, but there is that dark cloud that kind of looms over head coach Bobby Bowden. He stands to lose 14 wins due to an academic scandal that occurred in 2006-2007. Now, Florida State is in the process of appealing. Head coach Bowden told us he addressed it with his team one time only, told them there's nothing they can do about it. He said he tries to forget about it, but is reminded of it daily. And then, Brad, as you know, he joked with us and said, hey, when I sign off, I'm in the grave. I'm taking those 14 wins and the ones from junior college.
Bobby said, I'm already 400 if you add them all together. Right now, he's 2 behind Joe Paterno. He's going to put it on the shoulders of his experienced quarterback. For the Noles and the Canes, it's time to take the field. It's time to start the show.
Brought to you by Autotrader.com. Compare new and used cars in your area. Plus, review photos and features side by side to find the car you want at the price you want at Autotrader.com.
The old sod cemetery, they started that back in the early 60s when they had an upset on the road. Then they added bowl games and then landmark road wins. They probably got one for the 41-39 encounter a year ago down in Miami. We had a threat of rain earlier, but right now 81 degrees, partly cloudy, light winds. And partner, you said feels more like Penn State than it does Tallahassee.
Yeah, it felt like a nice September night in Pennsylvania. It did not feel like Florida. We were down in Florida last weekend to see these two teams, and it was hot when we were here a week ago.
Was it ever hot at the practice and the scrimmage? Florida State won the toss and defer. That means that Brandon Harris right there will wait the kick from Dustin Hopkins. A true freshman is the place kicker for Florida State. Something to keep in mind as we go tonight. He got his leg into this one high, and it tails down to the 6 to Greg Cooper. Cooper on the return, and it's a good one out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Now there's the young man that Todd talked about, Ja'Cory Harris. It's his show right now because behind him is a true freshman with 2 other quarterbacks having transferred out, including Robert Marve, who transferred to Purdue, who was a starter in this game a year ago.
Yeah, he's got a unique presence about him, Brad. Even though he's young, just a true sophomore, he's got a real calming effect on this football team. He's an excellent leader for a young guy, and the team really responds to him, really believe in him.
Javaris James and Greg Cooper are both going to be in there to start the game. From the 34-yard line, and immediately there's movement on the left side. Jason Fox, the captain of the offense, the old man of the group.
64 offense, 5 yards, first down.
His 37th career start. We ran into his dad at the airport the other day.
Yeah, a little antsy. I was just laughing because the game we did the other night, we saw this to start the game as well.
Did we ever? We had so many false starts in the BYU-Oklahoma game. So Miami has to start with a 1st and 15 before we even get underway. They bunch 3 receivers to the left. Now they spread them out with James and Cooper behind Harris. And he'll drop the throw on 1st down. Going to throw a little screen out to Javaris James. And baby James is on his way to a 1st down just like that. Well, both those guys in the same backfield. We weren't sure we'd see that right away at the beginning of the ball game because Craig Cooper is now being used as a kickoff returner as well. Randy Shannon, his 3rd year. More than 20 years in the program, though, as a player, assistant coach, and now head coach.
Well, if you're a quarterback, that's a great first play. About a 3-yard throw and a nice run after the catch. You get those nerves out, and here we go.
And a play fake all day to throw deep and skip off the hands of the intended receiver, Leonard Hankerson, as we take a look at our principal financial impact players. We talked about Greg Cooper. He'll alternate with Javaris James in the backfield. Had a great year last season. Travis Benjamin had 274 all-purpose yards in this game last year. Even though he's not a starter, keep him in mind. And Sean Spence was ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year from his linebacker position last season. 2nd down at 10. Canes just on their side of the Seminole 50-yard line. They go straight ahead with James. He broke 1 tackle, and Knowles trying to drag him down and rip the ball out, but he got all the way down to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 7. Kendall Smith made the stop.
And we mentioned the trend of who runs the football better in this series usually has the edge. Last year, Florida State dominated the running game, 310 yards to 51 for Miami. But coming into tonight, both teams feel pretty good about their offensive lines. Miami has 3 seniors up there. They pride themselves on being a physical group. They've got the 2 backs in Cooper and James. I think you're going to see both of these teams try to really establish themselves physically at the line of scrimmage.
It looks like they will do that right here on 3rd down and 3 because they've got 2 tight ends loaded in there. And they will run it right up the gut. James is going to be short by about a yard. Marcus White made the stop defensively for Florida State. So now we got a 4th down situation here early in the ball game. Last year, Miami was the #1 team in the ACC in 4th down conversion, 68%.
A new starting defensive end for Florida State, Craig Yarborough, who is a former walk-on, really is the guy that disrupted that play. He didn't get the tackle, but he crashed in hard from the outside and disrupted the blocking scheme and caused Miami to come up short. There's a lot on his shoulders tonight.
They're going to have to hustle to get this play off. 4th down and 1. They're not going to get it. Going to have to take a timeout. Took too much time. Huge 4th and 1. And we'll take the timeout as well. A very important 4th down here in the first couple minutes of the ball game coming up for the Hurricanes. We'll see what they do when we come back.
You all right?
We all need people who will be there for us in life. People who say, we're with you, no matter what. At Wachovia and Wells Fargo, we're with you. When a house turns into a home.
Excuse me, Rufus.
When a passion becomes a career. When a relationship turns into a lifetime. And when times are tough, but life presses on. We're with you when you need someone to stand by you. Wachovia, Wells Fargo, and you. Together, we'll go far.
We all have confidence. We all have doubt. But when the moment comes, what's gonna win? Here's to confidence.
I've been dreaming of training.
Gillette helps you look, feel, be your best. Gillette, the best a man can get.
How about we lay some new ground rules? Nail down $39 is the price for installing Stainmaster carpet in any house, in any number of rooms. Let's lower prices on over 100 styles of Stainmaster so we can quit tiptoeing around our dreams and get on with turning more of them into reality. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get new lower prices on Stainmaster and the installation for your whole house, only $39.
What can you learn from Tony Stewart?
You gotta sell stuff you love. People have to trust you. You are what you endorse. So any questions?
Why is nobody buying my Estrada glasses? Hello? Estrada.
Look at me, I got 1 million of these Care Crushers on load. Nothing. How do you do it, Tony?
Look, endorse things you believe in. Like me and the Whopper. I endorse it because I love it.
Okay, you lost me on that one, Tony.
Estrada.
Whopper, flame fresh taste, endorsed and loved by Tony Stewart.
Of all the things that are changing lately, Hyundai Assurance has remained rock solid and gotten even better because now it gives you even more than before, including gas for just $1.49. Buy a new Santa Fe, and while supplies last, you'll get a year's worth of gas for just $1.49 a gallon, $2,000 cash back, and the Hyundai trade-in bonus. Plus, in the new Santa Fe, you'll get up to 24 miles per gallon. Can you say road trip?
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
Big 4th and 1 here early in the ball game. Miami had to take a timeout. Now they're ready to run their play. They've got the fullback in there. Harris may be changing things up. Javaris James behind him. It'll be James, and he got it. And Todd, a new offensive coordinator for the Canes. They've had a handful of them in the last 5 years.
Yeah, Mark Whipple is the new guy. He was there in the spring and has a very good working relationship with Ja'Cory Harris. Ja'Cory showed good poise here. A little check at the line of scrimmage. Little ISO play following the fullback in there. Patrick Hill, number 30. But you know, they called timeout before that 4th down play. I mean, even though you practice things, you communicate, when you get in the game and that adrenaline's flowing, it's still a whole different animal, and still some kinks to work out communication-wise.
Well, 1st down for Harris and the Canes offense at the 39 of Florida State. He wants it all. Deep ball and a man out there. Touchdown. Travis Benjamin. Did we mention impact players? And who to watch for? He's done it a 2nd year in a row.
Well, that looked like a busted coverage by Florida State because you don't turn somebody loose down the middle of your defense. Corey Mangum is the new starting rover, and I think he might have found himself out of position on that play.
Matt Bosher in for the point after. Talk about quieting the Seminole crowd. Bosher's extra point is good. 3 minutes into the game. Ja'Cory Harris and Travis Benjamin strike big from 39 yards out. Here's another look.
Mangum is in the slot, and he just gets frozen. I mean, Benjamin just runs right by him. Mangum is a former corner, so you would expect him to have pretty good coverage skills, but he just got flat-footed and frozen on the deep route, and Benjamin ran right by him to the end zone.
What a way to start, huh, for Miami on the road. 66 yards in 6 plays.
It almost looked like Mangum thought he was going to have help over the top from a safety, and there was no help there.
Nope, nobody home back there. Nobody back there except the Florida State end zone. So 7-0. Miami off to a great start. Last year, Benjamin had an 18-yard touchdown run. He had a 51-yard touchdown reception, caught 3 balls for 71, and he also was their main return man. So you talk about a thorn in Mickey Andrews' backside. There he is right there.
Well, we talked about the trend of who runs the football better. Here's another trend in this game. 16 of the last 18 in this series, the team that has scored first has won the game. So something to keep in mind as well.
So Bobby Bowden's already got the shades up on top of the cap. Not a good start for his Noles defense. Bosher will tee it up and kick away to Greg Reed, who's a freshman. And Taiwan Easterling, who a lot of people thought wouldn't even be in this spot to be able to play football after an Achilles injury. And he rehabbed so quickly that he's back there as a return man. Having to run up on it in a hurry is Easterling at the 15-yard line. And he got a little bit of a crease. He was about 1 man away from taking that one a long ways. 19-yard return. Good field position for Christian Ponder and company. So here's the undisputed leader of the offense, according to both Bobby Bowden and Jimbo Fisher.
The thing I see different in Christian Ponder so far, and it's just been scrimmages, obviously, for the first game, compared to him last year as a first-time starter, better pocket presence. He's not in such a hurry to get out of there. He's got his eyes up. He's had an outstanding summer camp throwing the football and leading the team.
He's going to throw on first down, and he zips one complete to Rod Owens. So they come up firing right away just to try to get Christian Ponder in a little bit of a rhythm. As we take a look at Florida State's impact players, Jermaine Thomas is the man now. 7 yards a carry a year ago. Defensively, the guy that's the captain is Dakota Watson. He's the undisputed leader, but in the secondary, a guy that they say is as good a cornerback as we've had here in a long, long time. There's some pretty big names. Patrick Robinson back there celebrating his 22nd birthday on this night, Labor Day night. 3rd time these teams have met on Labor Day since 2005. Here's Thomas. Takes a big hit after a pickup of 2 at about the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
This offensive line we mentioned for Florida State is a young group, but talented and athletic. They really move well coming off the ball. 3 years ago, when Jimbo Fisher came as the new offensive coordinator, he also brought Rick Trickett as a new offensive line coach. He ran a few guys off. He trimmed the other guys down, and he's built a pretty good unit right now.
You see those starters on the top of your screen for Florida State as they try to pick up their initial 3rd down of the ball game. There's Ponder, another quick throw and a slip screen. Got it. Jerron Fortson, and Fortson's got a first down in Miami territory. This is a kid that they hope the light is going to come on. Number 80 at wide receiver. He's kind of built like Anquan Bolden, and they say he's a little bit like that.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 230 pounds, and he's one of those guys they think has a chance to be a big-timer here. Does a nice job catching that ball and then getting directly upfield. He didn't waste around running sideways. He got straight up the field. Not only got the first down easily, added about 10 more yards because of the quick decision to move upfield.
Ponder now in the shotgun with 4 wideouts. And a first down, Florida State at the Miami 46. Ponder's going to try the same play. Different result this time. No gain to Easterling.
Last year when these teams played, Florida State threw a ton of bubble screens. They got out in those spread formations and they threw a ton of them. And they force, what they do is they force you in a spread formation and those quick throws to make plays in space. They force Miami defenders to make a one-on-one tackle out in space. And so you're just kind of, Jimbo's just kind of picking away a little bit, and he's looking the whole time. He's trying to see where do we have a matchup that favors us on the outside.
The second down and 10. Ponder play action. Throws complete. Out to his big, and I mean big, tight end, Relaford, 6'7", 241-pounder. Joe Nicholas in on the stop for Miami. Well, they're trying to get Ponder in a rhythm here with some quick and short passes, and they've done pretty well with it, Todd.
Yeah, they have. I mean, and again, his pocket presence. I mean, he looks so much more comfortable taking the snap, setting his feet, throwing quick. There's no hesitation on where he's going with the football. But so far, Miami has done a nice job of making good, solid tackles after the catch.
Marcus Robinson went out a little ding for Miami, and while he trotted to the sideline, Ponder had time to come over and talk to Jimbo. Here's another third down and 6. Last year, Florida State about 46% on their third down conversions. They picked one up already on this drive. Plenty of time. Ponder's got a man wide open in the flat. Jermaine Thomas, can he get to the sticks, though? Close.
Yeah, very close. Again, throw the ball short. See if your guy can make a guy miss, or if a Miami defender can tackle in space. And again, so far, Miami doing a pretty good job of tackling these guys out in space.
That's 5 for 5 for Ponder and 5 different receivers. Yep. Mixing it up beautifully. Now they've got a fourth down, as Miami had. And you saw Bobby Bowden with a headset on there for a second. That means his decision, we're going. Bobby didn't wear that headset that much anymore, but he said, dadgum, it's early in the game, let's go get it here at about the 36-yard line. And they got it. Needed about 2 feet and got almost 2 yards. So each team's picked up a fourth down. Not quite halfway through the first quarter in Miami. Randy Shannon's club out in front on a touchdown pass to Corey Harris, a 39-yarder to Travis Benjamin.
And that touchdown pass came very shortly after they converted the fourth down in a similar part of the field. So
excellent observation, my friend. 8th play of this drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Jermaine Thomas, though, he's going to lose yardage. Stephen Wesley, the defensive end, drops in for a loss of almost 3. Miami's stout up front on their defensive line. They rotate about 8 guys in there. All very, very good players. Wesley started all but 1 game a year ago. And he gets the call from the sideline about the defensive fronts. Ty Jones has checked in for Florida State in the backfield for the first time tonight to give Jermaine Thomas a breather. So second down and 13 for Christian Ponder, who's been perfect so far. He loads and goes deep.
Oh, what?
Nope. Incomplete. I thought he had it.
I did too. He made a great effort on the ball.
Fortson laid out into double coverage, and he almost caught that thing right at the goal line. DeMarcus Van Dyke was the guy covering. Look how close this was, though.
Well, Randy Phillips was the safety, and he's a senior, but he was not in position to help his corner on this one either. He was kind of sucked up inside, and Fortson just not able to come down with the catch.
So it was 1 play later, what Todd was talking about, maybe going for the deep ball, and they almost got it to number 80. Now they need 13 on third down. This could be tough to pick up, and remember, they got a freshman kicker. And Ponder's in trouble, flags down, probably a holding call. Ponder's going to get what he can. Took a pretty big hit, too. He got back.
Number 60, 10 yards from the previous spot, still third down.
His center is the guy that was guilty of the hold.
Yeah, they blitzed, Miami did that time, and they left the center on an island. Normally the center has a guard next to him to help, but they're going to bring pressure that occupy the right guard and the tackle and to leave that center alone. And when that happens, that's a tough deal for a center. If that guy over him has a two-way go, can go either left or right, that's awful tough for a center to snap the ball and then make that block.
Well, they're going to back Florida State up to the 48-yard line with a penalty, so they get another crack at it at 3rd down and 23.
Well, if you're Christian Ponder right now, you're thinking, let's get something that might give us a shot at a field goal. 23's tough.
And he's going to go deep, and he's got a man, and it's caught for the 1st down.
Not that tough.
Not that tough, I guess. Burt Reed. That's the problem. As I said, they're giving him another crack, even though it's long yardage.
Well, this is a cover 2, which means 2 deep safeties that split the middle of the field. And the middle of the receiver from the slot runs right down in between the safeties. There was no linebacker to slow him down or to get in the way of the throw, and Ponder attacked the soft part of that cover 2 defense right down the middle for a huge throw.
34 yards down to the 14-yard line. Now the stretch play to Ty Jones, who puts both arms around that football and got it down to about the 11.
I think in both of those cases, that completion and the Miami touchdown, those were coverage breakdowns. I mean, you don't give up a 3rd down and 23 against that kind of a defense. Just let somebody run down the middle. But credit Christian Ponder for seeing it and making a good throw for the conversion.
A defensive coach like Randy Shannon doesn't like that one bit. Christian Ponder's only missed once. 6 out of 7 for 62 yards on this opening drive for Florida State. They got it 2nd and 7 just outside the Canes 10. He stumbled as he got back in the pocket, and now he's going to keep it. And got about a yard. Knocked out of bounds at the 10. Ponder last year had a sensational game as far as running the football. 19 carries. A career high 144 yards. They don't necessarily want him to do that again, but he really does have good feet and he's got good speed.
Well, and you got to believe that Miami is more in tune to that this year than they were last year. He had 101 of those in the first half, and some of them were designed runs, a couple options, but most of it was just when things broke down, he scrambled and nobody really accounted for him. Miami better take a timeout. They don't have enough guys. They don't have the right defense called.
Yep, and they're going to. That's 2 timeouts in the first 10 minutes that Miami's had to take. Seminoles on the march. Can they tie it up? We'll find out when we come back.
You always on time. That's what I love about you.
This is history being made all over. Just when they thought that it was all over.
Take care, boy.
All right, expect me to lose, don't expect me to sell well. Hell, I got breaking news. Q shine bright like UA shoes. I try to help them, but they some ungrateful dudes. They see me on TV making moves.
Good luck, man. You too.
If you got plans of making it to the top, that's the only way I'ma see you. I'm on a mission.
What's going on, fellas?
Don't talk about it, nigga. I read about it. You good on a mission. Get mine. I won't stop.
Just dropping by to give you a little friendly advice.
Nobody threatens Sam Crow.
You love the man. You learn to love the club.
You better be real careful how you navigate around this one.
Or what? You're gonna put a bullet in the back of my head, too?
Sons of Anarchy. Premieres Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
Hi, may I help you? We're shopping for car insurance, and our friend said we should start here.
Good friends. We compare our Progressive Direct rates apples to apples against other top companies to help you get the best price.
How do you do that?
With a touch of this button.
Can I try that? Wow.
Good luck getting your remote back.
It's all right. I love this channel.
Shopping less and saving more. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Miami, Florida State tangling in Tallahassee on ESPN2. It's U.S. Open tennis. French Open champ Svetlana Kuznetsova up 1-0 and currently in a second set tiebreaker. We'll keep you posted. Brad?
Florida State now coming up with a third down and long situation at about the 10-yard line.
Well, you know, and they had a play called, but the timeout went a little longer than Jimbo thought it was going to, and so he called him over and changed personnel and changed the plays. It's a different formation than they had a minute ago.
This is the 13th play of the drive. It's taken 7 minutes. And at the 10-yard line, Florida State with another third down. Ponder going to loft it to the corner to the tight end. Touchdown. Ponder to Peroski. Sounds like a law firm. 10-yard touchdown.
They changed formations. They changed plays with the extended timeout, and they called the right one.
Another one of those huge targets at tight end. Peroski, 6'7", scores from 10 yards out, and the freshman kicker has tied it up. We got a good one going in Tallahassee. Noles fans are loving it. Christian Ponder almost perfect. Noles 7, Kane 7.
Of all the things that are changing lately, Hyundai Assurance has remained rock solid and gotten even better because now it gives you even more than before, including gas for just $1.49. Buy a new Santa Fe, and while supplies last, you'll get a year's worth of gas for just $1.49 a gallon, $2,000 cash back, and the Hyundai trade-in bonus. Plus, in the new Santa Fe, you'll get up to 24 miles per gallon. Can you say road trip?
Andre Johnson?
Hey, guys. To carry your squad, you've got to have great hands. And these Nike Vapor Trail gloves are lightweight and sticky enough to catch absolutely anything. It's ridiculous. Who wants a hoagie? And don't forget to stay hydrated. See you on the field.
Nike Vapor Trail gloves at Dick's Sporting Goods. Better athlete, better team.
Scientific tests prove when you drink Dr. Pepper slow, 23 flavors taste even better. For me, slow always produces a hit. Step aside for a minute. Check this out. Slower is better. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Where's the rest of the crew?
They're all gone.
Quiet. Hello?
Those things, they didn't see me human. Run! They're fast and they're stronger than you know.
Oh my God.
Pandora rated R.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Hyundai Assurance. A little certainty in uncertain times. Find out more at Hyundai.com. And Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Big plays galore in the first 10 minutes. Tie game. 4:55 remaining in the first. Dustin Hopkins to kick for Florida State. Greg Cooper and Mike James are back deep. Cooper from the 6. He's a good one, but he really got popped and he bounced off it. Shows his running back ability there. That's something you don't get from some of those guys that are 175-pound receivers. He took the shot and got it out to the 43. Let's take you back to the end of a 7-minute drive and a touchdown Ponder to Porosky.
Well, we talked about Jimbo looking for matchups. Fortson, the wide receiver, is going to run this route and occupy the corner and the safety. That's going to lead the tight end, Porosky, 6'7", working against Sean Spence, who's 6 foot, the linebacker. That's a mismatch that favors Florida State. One guy draws the coverage, the other guy breaks open, and Ponder makes a perfect throw.
The tight end gets used around here about as much as a guy selling snow cones at the North Pole. I think Pat Carter's the last one who caught one in '87, but big play there. There's the end around. Collier, and Collier's got a first down. Let's check in with Wendy Nix. Back in the studio. Wendy.
Brad, thank you. SportsCenter right now. #1 overall draft pick Matthew Stafford, the former Georgia quarterback, has been named the Lions starter for Sunday's opener against the Saints. And good news for Oklahoma quarterback Sam Bradford. Bob Stoops announcing after practice tonight, surgery is not expected. Bradford should be back within 2 to 4 weeks, suffering with that sprained right shoulder.
All right, Wendy, thanks. That's how Todd and I started our weekend, seeing Sam go down.
That is good news.
Boy, both coaches, all the coaches around Florida State and Miami were like, wow. They were watching, and they were like, we don't want that to happen to our quarterback either. Another end around coming the other way. And it's Collier this time, who lost 2. Nice play by Dakota Watson. College football continues Saturday night. Freshman quarterback Mac Barkley leading the Trojans of USC into the shoe. They'll take on Terrell Pryor, the Ohio State Buckeyes. 2 top 10 teams battle in a season-defining matchup. Presented by Hampton Hotels next Saturday night. On this Labor Day night, tie game between the Noles and the Canes so far. Harris, quick pass over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Hankerson.
Well, we're seeing a lot of different looks by this Miami offense here early in the game. Different personnel groups, different formations. We mentioned the new coordinator, Mark Whipple. Last year, he was an assistant with the Eagles, worked with Donovan McNabb. Before that, he was the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach for the Steelers, helped to groom Ben Roethlisberger during his time there. Prior to that, he was a head coach at UMass and New Haven and Brown, very successful head coach. And he is throwing a lot of different looks at this Florida State defense.
3rd down at 12. Crowd comes to life for the Seminole defense. They're thinking about a blitz, and they're bringing a blitz. Harris stands in and fires. Complete. Nope. Oh, boy, we got Ron Bird shaking up on the play.
LaRon Bird got both his hands on the ball. He actually had a step on Patrick Robinson, just couldn't come down with the catch. You know, Miami's got 4 receivers that are 6'3" or taller. I mean, that's a unique luxury, and that's a case where as a quarterback, you just throw it up there high and see if he can make a catch, and he almost came down with it.
So now we'll have a first punt of the night. Matt Bosher into kick. Bosher averaged a little over 40 a kick last year. Had a couple blocks last year, 4 in his career, in fact. Right now the Noles appear to have the return set up. Penalty marker comes flying in from way back by the return man. 45. So they'll back it up, and Matt will have a little more room to punch one down there.
Correction, Florida State will decline the distance. Still 4th down.
And they're going to decline it, so a little chess match going on there. Chuck Amato, the linebacker coach, talking to Bobby Bowden. Chuko Genije is the guy back deep for Florida State. From behind, Matt Bosher. Snaps a little high, but nobody in his face as he kicks it high and deep. Bounces it about the 4 and into the end zone.
And that's why you decline that penalty if you're Florida State. I mean, you make him make a perfect kick to avoid that.
Well, some big headlines already in this first weekend of college football. Oregon, LeGarrette Blount, with the punch seen around college football, has been suspended from the team. Oklahoma losing Sam Bradford. We talked about it. We saw it down in Dallas on Saturday night. Huge loss for the third-ranked, at that time, team in the country. And Alabama got a big win over Virginia Tech in Atlanta, as they did a year ago against Clemson. So a nice start for the Crimson Tide. ACC kind of took it on the chin over the weekend a little bit. So whoever comes out of this one's going to have kind of a leg up on everybody in the conference.
Well, they only won 4 games all weekend as a conference, and only one of those victories was against an FBS school. So
Ponder on a keeper, and that's going nowhere. So as you said, Miami's seen that act last year, and they're waiting for it. Sean Spence made the tackle.
Well, we mentioned a new coordinator offensively for Miami. Randy Shannon hired a new defensive coordinator as well. John Lovett is the new defensive coordinator. Was at North Carolina the last 2 years with Butch Davis, former head coach at Miami. There's John with the headsets on. And yeah, even though he didn't coach in this game, he is well aware of what Christian Ponder is capable of doing as a runner and not just a thrower.
Florida State with a long yardage situation again. 2nd down and 11. Ponder fires, completes. Burt Reed. And Reed's got it out to about the 28-yard line, a couple yards shy of the first down.
See, the problem right now for John Lovett is not only does he know he's got a hot quarterback on his hands in Christian Ponder, but you know, that's his 8th completion, and I think maybe his 8th different receiver he's thrown to, or 7 anyway. I mean, so you can't even zero in on where he wants to go with the football. He's doing a nice job of scanning the field, seeing what he wants, and not afraid to go anywhere with the football right now.
Now they put Javaris Little in there in front of Jermaine Thomas for some beef to help block if indeed they run this ball on 3rd down and 2, and they will. Thomas cuts it up and didn't make it. Nice job by Alan Bailey.
Yeah. Alan Bailey ran down the line and made that play. He's an interesting guy. He's 6'4", 288, playing on the inside, number 57. Just tracks that ball right down the line. He was a linebacker when he first started at Miami, and then he ate his way into a defensive end position where he played last year, and he ate a little bit more, and now he's a defensive tackle.
He had 5 sacks a year ago. That one was as good as a sack. It forces a punt. Sean Powell the kick. And again, Greg Cooper is back deep, and we've seen what he did on that last kick return as a sturdy running back and return man. This one's short, and nobody's going to touch this, or at least they'll try not to, except Florida State will let it go as far as possible, and they'll down it inside the 25-yard line. Yeah, you can round the bases with ESPN Wednesday night. Couple of Major League Baseball games presented by Smirnoff Ice. 7 o'clock, the Rays will take on the Yankees, and at 10, the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks get together. Major League Baseball presented by Smirnoff Ice is part of the Hunt for October on ESPN and ESPN 360 on Wednesday nights. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Aaron Andrews, 54th meeting between the Hurricanes and the Seminoles. This thing all started back in 1951. We had a really good first quarter. A minute 4 remains in it, 7-7. Harris going to throw the screen to James. This was the first play of the ball game, and it got him about 15 yards. This one got him about 8. Let's check in with Aaron.
Brad, we're going to have to keep our eye on Miami wide receiver LaRon Byrd here. He's grabbing his left side. Remember when he came down awkwardly on that pass by Ja'Cory Harris? He came down, came over to the sideline. Training staff tried to put some ice on him. They told him he was all right, but he's grimacing and grabbing that side pretty good there.
Yeah, he is. He had a bad landing. Good takeoff, bad landing on that long ball. And he is. He's got a hitch there. He's saying, I'm okay, but he doesn't look that good. 2nd and 2. Cooper. Oh, man, was he met in the hole by Nigel Bradham. That's a big-time hit there. Bradham, a sophomore out of Crawfordville, Florida. A lot of speed on both sides of the football. As the first quarter starts to wind down to a close. 7-7 in Tallahassee at the end of 1.
It's time to blow it up, time to lock and load, time to take the field, time to start the show. This is our moment, this is our time.
ESPN College Football Primetime, USC Ohio State, Saturday at 8 Eastern.
These days, you never know what the economy's going to throw at you. And when you're saving for retirement, it can be pretty overwhelming. But that's where the principal can help. As one of the nation's retirement leaders, we have the financial tools and know-how to help you get back in the game with a little more confidence. Now is a good time to know the principal.
Of all the things that are changing lately, Hyundai Assurance has remained rock solid and gotten even better because now it gives you even more than before, including gas for just $1.49. Buy a new Santa Fe, and while supplies last, you'll get a year's worth of gas for just $1.49 a gallon, $2,000 cash back, and the Hyundai trade-in bonus. Plus, in the new Santa Fe, you'll get up to 24 miles per gallon. Can you say road trip?
Monday, the first day of training camp. It's back to being hit with all the stresses of work.
How was your weekend?
It's day one of that 3 o'clock lull. And that guy who always asks,
Mind if I jump in?
But Monday Night Football is returning to ESPN, where Adrian's moves will be making the guys in the booth say, lean back, redonkulous, and play on, playa. So relax and run steady. Because on Monday nights, you roll with us, 3 deep in the booth.
I'll slit your throat!
Everything I do is to protect what we got. How do we want to do this?
You love the man. You learn to love the club.
Just dropping by to give you a little friendly advice. Nobody threatens Sam Crow.
Sons of Anarchy premieres Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
We open the second quarter at Doak Campbell Stadium, tied at 7 with Miami having a third down and a long one. They're going to throw for it. Caught, and it is a first down. Nice job by Mike James, a true freshman who took that little swing pass and picked up 5 yards. Jamie Robinson knocked him out of bounds.
I think Florida State was thinking run. They brought pressure to try to crowd the line of scrimmage, and Ja'Cory Harris did a nice job of reading that, not getting panicked, and making a nice little throw for the first down.
They got it at the 38-yard line. So there is Johnson and Mike James now in the backfield for Miami as they continue to switch backs. Nice play action by Harris. Ja'Cory, look out. Flags are down. And he'll go down, and it'll be worse than that because there's going to be a holding penalty in the backfield. Loss as it was of a couple of yards.
On the carry was number 12, Ja'Cory Harris.
This is a true freshman, Brandon Jenkins, number 49, who draws the penalty against Miami.
Holding, number 65 on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
So a couple of penalties on the offensive line of Miami so far. Florida State with a lot of speed defensively. Mickey Andrews told us the other day, potentially the fastest defense he's ever had. That encompasses a lot of All-Americans.
That's saying a lot. But he also qualified that by saying, you know what, if you don't have discipline, that speed can be a detriment. And so that's what he's after right now, is not just fast track guys, but fast football players.
Cooper on a handoff, and he's got a big opening. Red Cooper out across the 35 to the 37, got about 9. Cooper and Jamaris James, we've seen them in the backfield together. We've seen them separately out there, almost identical in size, 6-footers. 205 for Cooper, 208 for Javaris James, who lost some weight in the offseason and feels a lot quicker. There's Javaris. They're roommates. So talk about pushing each other, not just on the field, but away from the field as well, I'm sure.
And Mark Whipple and the Miami offense showing good balance right now. 14 plays, 7 runs, 7 passes. Try to keep the defense off balance.
Harris now in the shotgun. Takes a one-handed snap, wants to throw a screen, and now he's in trouble. And now there are linemen scattered all over the place. He might just take this and try to get to the sideline before he gets clocked, and he did. Dakota Watson was the guy that brought the pressure.
And Dakota's coming from the outside, and he goes right around the right tackle, Matt Pepo. A little bit too quick for Pepo. And then Jacory does what he has to do. Just get what you can get and get out of bounds. Save your body and try to save it for the next play.
And the next play made it shorter at least. He got about 5 on the scramble to the far side, so it's 3rd down and 7. Ron Bird stays in there, and he comes out wide to the left side. 3 wide outs on 3rd down and 7.
Florida State's nickel package, only 1 defensive lineman on the field.
Here they come with pressure, though, in the second wave, and it's Dakota Watson. Back-to-back great plays by the guy that's the bell cow of the Florida State defense, the captain over there.
This is Mickey Andrews' version of the nickel defense. There's only 1 defensive lineman. Everybody else are linebackers and defensive backs. He wants speed rushers, and he will trade speed for size in that kind of a formation, and boy, it paid off for him that time.
That was a nice series by number 36 defensively. Matt Bosher will be forced now to punt. Burt Reed is back deep for the Seminoles. Wow, nice kick. Reed's got to call fair catch and backpedal while he does so, all the way back to the 18-yard line. 49-yard punt. Still a tie game. Christian Ponder's got a touchdown pass already. We'll see what he does when we come back.
Whoa, welcome to Taco Bell.
$1.99, 2 half-pounders, please.
To be honest, Mr. Holyfield, even someone your size only needs 1.
Yeah, but I'm taking my mama to lunch.
Just 1 and you're done. Taco Bell's new $1.99 half-pounders. Whoa. Featuring the new Nacho Crunch Burrito. For just $1.99, you get double the seasoned beef and all the good stuff. Think outside the bun.
These 2 here, guys. It's all good, man. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. You know what? Follow me.
There you go, guys. Enjoy the games.
Heineken Light, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, can you pass me one? Please?
Heineken Light. Give yourself a good name.
New BlackBerry, huh?
Yeah.
Me too. How sick is the web browsing? All the apps, GPS, video.
Yeah.
You didn't get your BlackBerry with the Verizon network, did you?
No. Sorry.
So it doesn't work here, does it?
No, but paperweight mode.
All right.
Now get a BlackBerry at our lowest prices ever, like the Storm for just $49.99. Plus get another free. BlackBerry runs better on America's largest 3G network. Verizon.
Hello. I'm finally going to get a flat panel in my home theater. Thank you. What should I get? You.
You should check out our new LEDs. The picture's better than life.
Okay, but I don't want to pay too much.
Don't worry about it. We'll match those other stores' prices. And we'll deliver and hook it up for free.
Okay, last question. If you guys are here, who's in the stores?
The latest home theater technology and thousands of people eager to help. Best Buy. Buyer be happy.
Every season is a story where each game counts. With MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV, don't wait for the headlines. Go beyond the home team and follow every team, no matter where you live. Get up to 80 games per week and watch the action unfold as it happens. With the most games in HD, see this story write itself. Catch the MLB Extra Innings race for the pennant for just $69 on DirecTV.
That's how Keith called it back in the day. And there's Michael Barrow, the guy that delivered the hit on Tamarick Vanover, now the linebackers coach. That just shows you the intensity in this rivalry over the years. There have been a lot of those kind of hits. And there comes a helmet off on the hit on Ron Owens as we check in with Wendy again.
Brad, thank you. An update over on ESPN2 U.S. Open action from Flushing Meadows, Svetlana Kuznetsova in the far court. The rally here to go up a break in the third set. The winner will face 17-year-old American Melanie Dan. Brad?
Thanks, Wendy. Second down coming up with 11:15 remaining in the first half. Second down and 3. Each quarterback with a touchdown pass so far on the night. Christian Ponder play action, and he was not expecting the welcoming committee from Stephen Wesley quite that quick, I don't think.
Well, I think he was expecting Wesley to buy the fake a little bit more. Wesley stayed right at home, and a quarterback is taught on a bootleg, get your head and eyes around right away as quick as you can and see where the pressure is, and he did the right thing by throwing it away because that play had no chance.
He got his head around, then he got it right between the eyes as soon as he let go of the ball. So it's third down and 3. And they work from the gun. He's been good. And we've got contact. And penalty markers down. Olivier Vernon, the freshman, is the guy that I think is going to give Florida State a first down here.
It's a dead ball. Offside defense. Number 35. Made contact with the offensive team. 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a costly mistake. Here's Vernon right here. Now his eyes are looking at the ball, but he's listening to the quarterback's voice instead of watching the football. And a little bit too much of a hurry to get off the ball.
And you see him grab both sides of his helmet with his hands. He knew it. And nothing he could do about it. So it is an automatic first down for Florida State. Florida State with the tight ends in there. Borowski's already got a touchdown catch tonight. Ponder, plenty of time. Going long. Goodman was wide open.
For some reason, Goodman stopped on the route. I don't know if he was trying to just sit down in an open area, but for some reason, he stopped running to the sideline, and I think Ponder expected him to keep moving. Watch Goodman. He breaks to the outside. Now he's just going to stop. Instead of running to the sideline where the ball was, he stopped. And you wouldn't expect a guy to stop on a route like that.
Christian Ponder saying exactly what you're saying. Well, why did he do that? At any rate, they've got second down and 10. Ty Jones back in behind Christian in the Florida State backfield. Now the option, Jones will get the pitch. Nowhere to hide.
See, Miami's much more ready for that. Now there's a late flag that got thrown, which would suggest maybe one of these teams had too many guys on the field the way that it was thrown.
Jeff Flanagan is our referee. It'll be a chop block.
Illegal crackback block below the waist. Number 86 on the offense. A penalty is declined. It's third down.
And Rod Owens. So it's declined and it's third down and long.
Well, we've already seen now that Miami is very much more in sync and in tune whenever Christian Ponder looks like he's going to run the football. That was a designed option. They had him covered. They had the pitch man covered. He's not going to fool him as a runner this year. That's for sure.
And he's had some long yardage situations on third down, including a 3rd and 23 where he threw a 34-yard pass. He's got another long one here, 3rd and 16. They'll throw that little slip screen, and Fortson got it out. About the 38-yard line, pick up a 14. So they almost got it.
Well, they're really high on Fortson. I mean, he's a sophomore, and he's their big guy. I mean, they've got some other receivers that are quick and small, but Fortson is the physical one. 6'3", 223. Out of Hurtsboro, Alabama, Carver High School.
Jimbo Fisher says some days he totally gets it and he catches everything. Other days the concentration goes away and he doesn't do very well. So he's trying to get that point where you have to be on target every day and every snap of every practice. Sean Powell to punt. This should be returnable for Cooper. He'll take it at the 23. And he's not going to get anywhere. In fact, he lost a little bit. Nice coverage by the Seminoles punt coverage group. Still a tie game in Tallahassee. 7-7.
It's Jimmy Football with Bud Light, and I'm going to turn your next tailgate into an awesome gate. It all starts right here with these tailgate-tested treasures. Natural fake grass can koozies, we got them. Speaker in a box, kapow! A tailgate companion, bow wow! Just go to tailgateapproved.com and remember, Bud Light is tailgate approved.
Robotic human surrogates combine the durability of a machine with the grace and beauty of the human body. With most people living their lives through their surrogate selves, our world has become a safer place. You can finally live the life you've always dreamt of.
I think we may have a homicide here. First one in years. The public cannot get the idea that using a surrogate can be fatal. Especially if it's true. I want to know how an operator can be killed by signals from a surrogate. You're lucky to be alive. Good thing you're unplugged.
It's different when you actually feel the pain. You're going to be a witness to the rebirth of humanity. My wife.
I am your wife.
No, you're not. How do I stop this?
You can't.
Surrogates, rated PG-13, in theaters September 25th.
Here's Tiger Woods doing what he does best, setting up, preparing.
He does it better than anyone else.
Makes all the difference, Jim.
Wait, I think he's ready.
Once again, excellent choice.
You know, we've come to expect nothing less.
He can see us.
Prepare your skin with Gillette's new line of hydrating body wash. It has 3 times more hydrators that lock in moisture and help eliminate dry skin.
Is that going to be cash or credit?
Check.
We only take little checks.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. And Touchstone Pictures Surrogates. Coming to theaters everywhere September 25th.
Those two obviously are trying to go against the garnet and gold guys for Florida State, trying to even things off. 7-7, 9-10. Celebrating its 5th year sponsoring Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating university general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, $1.7 million in scholarship monies. We thank them for being along with us. 1st and 10 for Corey Harris, and he wants it all. Long ball, got a man, caught. Leonard Hankerson. How about using your hands? He just went up there and snatched that thing in front of Nick Moody. 40-yard pass play.
Well, Hankerson is another one of those big receivers, about 6'4", 6'5", and he just ran by the corner. Now, Moody was the safety coming over to help. The corner who was beat, A.J. Alexander, was beaten on the play, and a nice job by Corey Harris finding the mismatch.
All the way down to the 38-yard line. Look at the average on first downs. Lee Chambers in at tailback right now. Harris another play fake. And across the middle on a crossing pattern to the same guy. Leonard Hankerson, and he's got a first down. You know, he had all kinds of trouble in spring practice holding on to the football. Had a lot of drops, and he started working out with Mark Duper, the former great of the Miami Dolphins, and I think Dupe did a pretty good job with him after those 2 catches, Todd.
Yeah, he just worked on him, concentrating, looking the ball all the way in, don't trying to run before he makes the catch. Just simple things, but sometimes, you know, when a coach says something, it sounds a little different than when somebody that was an all-pro player says it to you. Kind of get the message a little stronger.
He's wearing Duper's number, but he's a lot bigger. Back-to-back catches, moves it to the 27-yard line. They fake the end around. Harris lofts one to the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Jalaris James out of the backfield. Nice coverage by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. Quarterbacks both have had some shining moments so far. We got a flag down as Harris has got a touchdown pass and 123 yards. Ponder over 100 and has hit 7 different receivers, including the touchdown.
On the offense, 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Wow. 15-yarder on Ron Bird.
I think did they call that an illegal block? Chop.
If it's a chop block, it's the second one we've had. And
by a wide receiver.
Right.
That's kind of unusual.
Second one we've had. The third one, I think we had 2 the other night, as a matter of fact.
There it is right there.
There it is.
Ron Bird, the player was already engaged with the tight end Richard Gordon.
So now they had everything going their way with a first down after the long ball to Hankerson, and then the crossing route to Hankerson. Now they got first down in a mile. First and 25. They'll keep it on the ground. Lee Chambers wrapped up after a pickup of maybe 3. Kendall Smith, the inside linebacker, made the stop. And we're under 8 minutes. Boy, we started off with fireworks, a couple of touchdown passes, and the teams are moving it up and down the field. They still are to a certain degree. Mickey Andrews is hoping that his team's not going to give up a first down here when it's 2nd and 23. Harris, that was a dangerous pass.
Yeah. Well, I think what Jacory was trying to do was snap it quick because Florida State was trying to run guys off the field, and he thought he might catch them in the middle of a transition, but wasn't able to make the completion.
He's trying to throw it to Epps, his tight end, and it was in a danger zone where it almost could have been picked off, and Randy Shannon shaking his head as if to say what I said earlier. We had first down all the way down at the 27-yard line. Now we're sitting on the 40, and it's 3rd down and 23, and here comes the crowd for the Seminole defense.
And here's that nickel defense. 1 defensive lineman, 5 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. A lot of speed for Florida State.
Harris trying to roll away from the pressure. Lobs it down, and it's almost picked off. It was intended for Jimmy Graham, the tight end, and Jamie Robinson broke it up. He was kind of hoping that one was going to get to number 80 before the defense did, but it didn't.
Well, Jamie Robinson has done a great job. He's the free safety right here. He's going to drift into the middle and then just start reading the eyes of the quarterback. When Jacory Harris leaves the pocket, he's going to lock in on him. And he sees that ball float a little bit and almost gets the interception. He got a bunch of them in preseason camp.
Matt Bosher just about the same spot. He was punting in the other direction when he tried to knock it inside the 5-yard line. Let's see how he does this time. High, lazy punts. Now this one is going to be down inside the 5-yard line. Perfect kick. Down to about the 2. Well, coming up at halftime, it's the Olive Garden halftime report. Reese and Lou and Mark will be along with a first half analysis for you. We'll have another injury update on Sam Bradford, and those guys will preview USC and Ohio State. That's coming up next Saturday night on ESPN. Hurricane season postponed for now. Well, we had a hurricane a few years ago that actually moved this game. That's why I said earlier that the 3rd time to meet on Labor Day since 05. Back in 04, they delayed the game due to Hurricane Francis. But we've got a perfect night for football right here in Tallahassee. Not a perfect spot to start, though, for your offense at the 2-yard line. Thomas got it to the 5. Little more breathing room. Colin McCarthy made the stop. McCarthy, they're glad to have him back out there. Injured his shoulder after 4 games last year and just itching to get out there. And they talked about maybe moving him to the middle linebacker spot. He said, Coach, I don't care where I play. Let me go out there and hit somebody.
He's a very physical linebacker, and they need his physical presence in there. You know, the other guy, Spence, who had such a great year as a freshman, is a small guy. I mean, he hits hard, but he's only 210 pounds. McCarthy's 240.
Ponder throws the slants, got a first down across the 25 to Fortson. Fortson still doing his thing, and now I see why the coaches are so high on number 80.
Well, he's a big target, and he's doing a good job in this game of using his body to stay in between the defender and the football. And then when he catches it, you're not going to bring him down with arm tackles. You better wrap him up and get him on the ground. I mean, he's too big and strong to just kind of wave that. He's going to keep dragging arms and bodies for more yardage.
26 in that case, out across the 30. And we've got an injured Hurricane. Maybe just a cramp. Sean Spence, who Todd was just talking about.
Sean Spence was the Defensive newcomer of the year in the Atlantic Coast Conference last year. He's one of 7 guys on this Miami team that all went to the same high school, Northwestern High School in Miami. Ja'Cory Harris was the quarterback. They were not only state champions in the state of Florida their senior year, considered to be, you can't really quantify this, but I guess the best team in the country, high school. And if you have 7 Division I players that are all playing at the University of Miami, I'd say they'd be a pretty good high school team.
I don't think those guys, when they were together, ever lost. I think they were 30-0 in the time that Ja'Cory was there, and Sean was the same age. He goes off, freshman All-American. Looks like he's okay. They call him the quiet leader of the defense. There's the guys that Todd was talking about. What a signing class, huh?
Well, and 3 wide receivers from the same high school team, all now at the University of Miami.
How'd you like to be a DB playing those guys? They won the other night, by the way, didn't they? On Friday
Carroll
night?
City.
Yep.
Big game.
27-6 they won on Friday night. So after that, Miami takes
Final charge out.
its last time out
of the first half.
5:55 remaining in the half. Florida State trying to move offensively in a tie game.
See, the highlight is about celebrating, not separating. We coming for your VIPs, and we ain't the paparazzi. We looking for the little fuzzy rope. How you doing? Yeah, we're not on that. I can guarantee that. Excuse us. Thank you so much. Paying extra money so other people can't sit next to you. You know where I come from. We party together with a good, honest beer at a tasty price. Fuzzy rope to make y'all feel more important. Common sense ain't on the guest list. These people know how to do it. That's it. Hey!
The Office on DVD with over 3 hours of scenes we couldn't show on TV.
How many of you thought that was going to be something sexual and gross?
Like this.
Is this what you want?
Or this.
Hey, something about that seems inappropriate.
The Office Season 5. Own it September 8th.
Niagara Falls, the ultimate torture test for a deck. The ultimate protection, Thompson's Water Seal. Chosen to protect the most water-drenched decks in America. The decks at Niagara Falls. Thompson's Water Seal. The most powerful protection against water damage, guaranteed.
Whoa! Namdi Asamoah. Man, it is scorching in here.
Come on in here, man. Feels good. Look, if you want to be a beast, you gotta stay cool in the heat of the moment. Try this. It's cold. You ready? Let's go.
Nike Pro Hypercool Apparel at Dick's Sporting Goods. Better athlete, better team.
I figure the engineers who built the Ford F-150 are probably the same guys we all cheated off of in science class. We're thinking about pizza, they're thinking about aerodynamic wake properties. Crazy smart. Take fuel economy, for example. You can't get a truck with better mileage, and they didn't give up an ounce of power to get it. In fact, they actually increased the horsepower. Now that is some A-plus truck thinking. It's not just a pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150.
College football continues on ABC Saturday afternoon. Big battle in the big house. Jimmy Clausen and Notre Dame take on the Michigan Wolverines. College football on ABC. Notre Dame and Michigan, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time. Rich Rodriguez got a win for Michigan. Jimmy Clausen had a huge game for Notre Dame in their openers. There's the freshman, Olivier Vernon, playing maybe a lot more than he anticipated tonight. Ponder on first down, and now Ponder's going to tuck it. And he's run down from behind, but he picked up about 7 yards on the scramble.
Well, they're really high on Olivier Vernon, the Miami defensive staff is. You're going to see him coming right here on the rush. He doesn't get a sack, but he's an aggressive kid, 6'3", 250 pounds. But you mentioned he's playing a little bit more. Now, the 2 projected starters for Miami at defensive end, neither one is even here tonight. Eric Moncourt has got a groin injury. He's out. Adewale Ojomo has a broken jaw. Those were the 2 guys they expected to be their starting defensive ends. Neither one even dressed tonight, and so Vernon is getting a lot of playing time.
Second down at 3. They'll give it off on the sweep to Ty Jones, and Jones got the corner somehow over there. Looked like he was going to run out of real estate, but he picked up 10 before Randy Phillips could track him down, and we've got another hurricane down at the 35-yard line.
Boy, really nice job blocking by the left tackle, Andrew Datko, number 67. Actually blocked 2 guys on this play.
Would you quit talking about people every time you do this happens? Vernon's the guy that's down, and let's see if he got tangled up in traffic on that sweep.
Well, he's right over here, and that's where Datko is, number 67. He's going to block him, turn him, and it was one of his own guys.
That's friendly fire.
Yeah.
He got it from McCarthy, who was trying to weave his way through to get the tackle. His own linebacker. And he's in some pain there.
And we mentioned the defensive ends. Marcus Robinson actually started the game, number 56. He'll be the guy coming back into the game, but they're a little bit thin at that position right now.
This is not a good scene. In obvious pain, and the left knee is what he's holding.
Like so many kids do, he enrolled early in January. He went through spring practice with the Hurricanes and really, got right involved in everything they were doing. And as a true freshman, was certainly ready to play in a game of this magnitude.
Well, he's up. Maybe it's going to be better than we thought, and we certainly hope so. His first taste of big-time football in a big-time rivalry, and we'll hope that he's okay. And there comes Marcus Robinson back in. He's got to play now. Meanwhile, it is first down on that sweep to the 48-yard line. So Florida State's got all its timeouts remaining. Plenty of time as they try to move it down the field here in a tie ball game. Ponder flares it out. Wide open man is Goodman. Goodman's got another first down to the 40, maybe the 39.
See, the problem that Miami has right now is that they're facing a quarterback that feels great. I mean, he's comfortable, he's confident, and when you're like that and when you're relaxed, your field of vision just opens up. I mean, he's seeing the whole field. I mean, and so he's hitting different receivers all over the place. They're not getting him to lock in anywhere, and that makes it very difficult to defend. That's the 8th different receiver that he's completed a pass to tonight.
12 out of 15, really mixing it up. Ponder's got him down to the 39-yard line. Now the long handoff. Ty Jones, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Talking about Ponder, Todd, and you're never going to find a smarter quarterback, at least academically, I don't think, because he's on his way to getting his master's. He'll graduate with the MBA in 2010, but in 2.5 years, he got his first degree. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Magna cum laude, and we talked to Jimbo Fisher, and I think Aaron asked him, what is it like to have a quarterback that's smart that you get to deal with? And Jimbo said, I need an interpreter half the time. 2nd down and 11. Here's a quick throw, complete again. But that also, Jimbo says, that's the one thing his teammates love about him. He doesn't walk around like a brainiac. He can be smart when he wants to be, but he's one of the guys, and he's the definite leader of this offense.
And Bobby Bowden said he's probably the one guy that everybody on the team listens to when he talks. I mean, he's established himself. I mean, in 13 starts and taking some lumps last year kind of did that for him. And he played great at times and made some mistakes at times, but he looks so much different right now than he did at any point last year from a comfort level standpoint.
3rd down and 5. Let's see how comfortable he can get in the shotgun here. They try to keep this drive alive at the Canes 34-yard line. Ponder deep out, just a little bit too far outside. And Fortson laid out for it, trying to one-hand it on the sideline. So now it'll be 4th down and 5.
Well, this is incomplete, but it gives you an idea of the arm strength of Christian Ponder. Right hash, throwing to the left sideline on a deep out. That takes a lot of arm.
I asked Bobby Bowden yesterday, I said, what would you do with your freshman kicker? How much trust do you have him? And he said, I'd give him a crack from 50.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to give him a crack from farther than that.
When I was in the fitness center this morning, his dad was in there working out, this young kicker. He said he was more nervous than his son.
He's going to try a 52-yard field goal. True freshman with a big kick, and the kick on the way, and he got it. I bet your dad's stomach was in his throat for about 6 seconds right there. Here's another look.
Great snap, great hold, perfect kick.
How about that? That's the way you splash on the scene in your first college football game. 52-yard field goal. Bobby's seen enough bad field goals in this series. We know that.
And you wonder, as a true freshman, if Dustin Hopkins even has any recollection of any kind of wide right stuff that went on in this series.
Did you see that smile on Bobby Bowden's face as if to say, do you believe in all the years? And I let an 18-year-old go out there from 52 and he hit it. He just kind of giggled on the sideline. So Florida State takes the lead. 64-yard drive in 9 plays. About 4.5 minutes they used to get that long one. I bet there's a little adrenaline flowing to number 18 right now. He might knock this thing out of the end zone on the kickoff. Either that or he'll miss it.
Those band members that are walking out of the tunnel better have a heads up.
So the freshman out of Houston with the gold shoes and obviously the golden toe on that kick. Set the kick away to Greg Cooper and Mike James. He's just a little bit pumped up right now. And he did get a good one. Almost 2 yards deep for Cooper. Cooper weaving his way across the 20 and put down at about the 25. 2:42 remaining in the half. Florida State now leading for the first time tonight by a field goal. We've got a Who Am I for you? Hold the Florida State record for career interceptions. Pretty darn good punt returner. I was drafted by the Packers in '92. The pieces start to roll together, don't they? NCAA record for career interception return yardage. I am the guy they call T-Buck around here. Terrell Buckley, one of the greats. He and Deion Sanders, probably the 2 best corners that ever played here. And the coaches talk around here about Patrick Robinson somewhat the same way. Terrell Buckley's a grad assistant here now at Florida State. Corey Harris on the roll. Plenty of time to find a guy in the middle. Down to the 44-yard line to Epps, his tight end. Pick up of 19. Boy, Corey Harris was just going out to pasture there. There was nobody for 15 yards around him.
Well, he wants to throw rather than run. They've got no timeout, so they've got to use the clock the best that they can. Epps able to come down with the catch.
Still got plenty of time, though. 2:32.
Look at it.
Well, I thought he had it, but maybe I missed something.
Further review. Running on the field. It's a catch.
There he tucks it against his body, gets hit on the way down. Ooh. And then it bounces up, and he still got it.
He caught it the second time,
He caught it
too.
twice. We'll give him 2 catches there. Whether the point of the football hit or not, they're saying no. And good job of concentrating and staying with the ball, bobbling around there.
This is his Diedrich Epps is his first game action since he tore his ACL a couple days before their bowl game. He didn't go through any of spring practice, so was okay to go in the summer. They managed his reps, rested him when he needed it, but this is his first live action again. A very talented tight end, 6'4", 253 out of Richmond, Virginia.
Had some big games last year, one against North Carolina State. He played really well against Georgia Tech. So the referee, Jeff Flanagan's over, having a look and talking to the guys upstairs. I think the only thing they could say is if the point of the football hit when he landed on his right side. But he's going to wait along with us. Randy Shannon, 12-13 in his 2 seasons. 5 wins the first year. They went 7-6 last year. They were 500 in the Coastal Division of the ACC. They're picked to finish 4th this year. And they have got a schedule that is murderer's row, first month of the season. Did it get a little bit easier by Sam Bradford being hurt for Oklahoma? Well, if he comes back, we won't know. But Miami's got his toughest schedule to open up the first 5 weeks of the college football season of anybody we've seen in a long time.
Yep.
So while the coach waits and the tight end waits, the referee waits with us. We've got 2:32 remaining in the half. Florida State 10-7. You see the replay again in the upper right-hand box. Miami scored first on a 39-yard touchdown pass to Corey Harris to Travis Benjamin. Christian Ponder found his tight end for 10 yards to even it up, and the long field goal just gave him the lead.
The play stands is called on the field. First down.
So they'll leave it right there. And a first down for Miami. Again, no timeouts for the Canes, but 2:32 to work with.
They had to use a timeout on defense, and I think 2 of them on offense. Again, a new coordinator. Ja'Cory Harris, this is only his 3rd start in a real game, but he's played well. I mean, he's comfortable, and he looks poised, and what he's doing, he's throwing the ball very well.
We've got 3 wideouts here on first down. Harris in the pocket, down the middle, complete again. They're in Collier, who ran a couple of end arounds back-to-back earlier. Now he's got an 18-yard pass reception.
Well, the one thing that we're seeing is both of these teams have got receivers running in open spaces against the defense. I mean, Florida State's guys are running open, Miami's guys are running open, and the quarterbacks are finding it.
You caught that one in front of a freshman defensive back in Greg Reed, and now the old veteran Tavares James takes it down for what is going to be very close to another first down.
And just so you know, I mean, for those that aren't aware of this, in college football, if you get a first down, the clock stops until they reset the change, or if they measure. Florida State calling a timeout here. So even though Miami does not have any timeouts, there are still ways to stop the clock and use the clock to your advantage.
And they're already in Matt Bosher's field goal range. If you're wondering, his best was 52 last year. So we've already seen a 52-yard field goal from the freshman, and Matt Bosher's been there before, so he's just waiting on the sideline, but he might get a crack to try to tie this thing up before the break. There's the head coach on the left and the head coach in waiting on the right. Jimbo Fisher, the offensive coordinator, already been named the successor to Bobby Bowden when Bobby steps aside. Some people think it's at the end of this year. Some people think it's going to be another year. I know what Bobby Bowden wants to do. He wants to win one more national championship, then he'll go golfing for good.
Yep.
Right now, 2 games behind Joe Paterno, the all-time list. Joe Pyle, Todd's old school winner over the weekend, so Joe's got 2 up on Bobby right now. Bobby with 382, Joe with 384. Second down and a yard. Can do a lot with this play. They motion Collier, and they'll just keep it on the ground to James, and he's got the first, and bounces off a would-be tackler and got to the 23-yard line. Kendall Smith made the tackle. Javaris James, nephew of Edgerrin James, showing up well tonight. He missed 4 games last year, too, with that high ankle sprain. He's a good one when healthy. He didn't play in this game last year. First down. Minute and a half to go in the half. At the Seminole 23. Here comes a blitz. Harris got rid of it in a hurry. Completed it to Aldarius Johnson. So again, he's mixing it up to different guys.
So now the clock is running because it was caught in the field of play, and it's not a first down. So this is where Ja'Cory Harris has to speed things up. I mean, get the play from the sideline, but get a little sense of urgency about you to manage the clock.
Second down and a long 4. We've got to get down to the 12-yard line for the first. They've got that and then some to Johnson again. And Johnson's got it first and goal.
See, football is such a game of matchups. And in the NFL, even more in college, that's the case. Well, Mark Whipple just came from the NFL. And he looks across at Florida State and he says, all right, they got a big-timer in Patrick Robinson, number 21. Right. So let's not take a whole lot of shots against him. Let's find the other corner on the other side, and let's work on that side.
James on the handoff. Cuts back inside. Touchdown. Javaris James from 6 yards out has given Miami the lead. Boy, that was a nice cutback run, Todd, on this one.
It sure was. He followed his left guard, Orlando Franklin, number 74, right into the end zone. They really had Florida State's defense on their heels that entire drive, and they mixed in the run nicely there.
Kendall Smith, the middle linebacker, ran at it, but as soon as James planted his foot, he was dead in the water as far as trying to make the tackle, and Bosher adds the extra point. And Miami goes 75 yards in 7 plays in a little over 2 minutes with no timeouts to take the lead with Baby James.
The University of Miami is on the move. We're revealing the mysteries of the world, from the eye of the hurricane to the human genome. We're creating oceans of knowledge and helping to shape citizens of the world. We're making a difference right now in the classroom, the laboratory, and on our playing fields. So keep watching us. The University of Miami. It's all about the U.
A 75-yard drive in 7 plays, and you know, after being injured a lot last year, how happy he is to be healthy and to be able to make the cut he just made to find the end zone from 6 yards out.
Came back this year a little bit lighter, about 15 pounds lighter. Feels healthy. And this young quarterback, Ja'Cory Harris, I talked about his presence earlier. I mean, he's a calm guy. I mean, he's not a real high-strung, high-energy kind of guy. He likes to have fun. He's kind of a prankster with his teammates, but he's all business on the field. I mean, he is a very serious-minded young man and really has excellent leadership skills.
Talk about 2 quarterbacks who have mixed it up tonight. Ponder and Harris. Taiwan Easterling and Greg Reed back deep. Reed, a freshman. Rosher, high pooch kick. I want to call a fair catch on that one. Well, they're going to get it on the fly at the 40-yard line. Reminder, coming up on Saturday night, Matt Barkley leads the Trojans into the horseshoe. They'll take on Terrell Pryor and the Ohio State Buckeyes. There's a couple of good young quarterbacks, too. 2 top 10 teams battling a season-defining matchup. College football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels. USC Ohio State Saturday night, 8 Eastern here on ESPN.
Well, I don't get that decision to kick the ball like that. I mean, there's 42 seconds left, but Florida State's got 2 timeouts, and you've got a hot quarterback in Christian Ponder. I don't know why you don't kick that deep and try to make him go 80. We've already seen their freshman kicker kick one from 50-plus, so I don't agree with that.
Ponder now being a shotgun. They do have good field position at the 39. He's going to roll to run, and whoops, flags down.
Ball start. Number 8, offense, 5 yards, still first down.
Taiwan Easterling trying to get ahead of himself a little bit there, so it'll be 1st and 15. Back at the 34. Again, Florida State, though, with 2 timeouts. Nobody's made any real mistakes or turnovers. Not a lot of penalties, but not as many as we saw Saturday night anyway. Ponder going to go deep on the sideline, and he got his man, Richard Goodman.
You know, that time Richard Goodman didn't stop on the route. He ran it all the way to the sideline.
He ran it all the way to the Canes bench.
He ran it right to the football.
He almost ran into the water cooler over there. 23-yard pickup. And now they're down in the area where they don't need too many more yards to try a field goal. Ponder again goes sideline, and this one's complete to Burt Reed.
They have 2 timeouts, and so what you want to do ideally is save one of those for as long as you can for your field goal unit in case you go for that.
There's the young guy, doesn't even have his helmet on. Thinking about warming up. He better start warming up. There's 31 seconds left. 2nd down and 4. But again, 2 timeouts. So they can get something in the middle of the field. If they get a first down, it'll stop the clock. And as Todd says, you save that last one for your kicker. Ponder. He's going deep. And there is the first mistake of the ball game. Randy Phillips with the interception in the end zone.
The mistake was to throw late down the middle. If you're going to throw to that part of the field, you do it early in the route. You don't throw late, deep, down the middle.
I think that's what Jimbo Fisher is saying right now into Christian Ponder's face.
You've got a veteran, savvy guy in Randy Phillips back there, the 5th-year senior, and he just tracked the ball down.
And he made a great catch on it. He had 2 interceptions a couple of years ago in this game against Florida State, and a diving catch there in the end zone is going to prevent the Seminoles from having any more points here before halftime. And now Miami will just take a knee here and head to the locker room with the lead. And get a flag down.
74, 5 yards, still first down.
Wow. We'll take another knee from 5 yards deeper. Well, Ponders had a great half right up until that throw.
One bad decision the entire half. I mean, he's been right on target with his throws, his reads, his quick decisions. And he just got a little greedy on that one.
Yes,
he tried to answer the touchdown pass from Ja'Cory Harris, and he tried to bite off a little bit more than he could chew on that one.
Well, right now, Miami doing what they wanted to do. Take the lead to the locker room. They're up by 4 at halftime as we head down to Aaron.
Well, Coach, great first half for Christian Ponder. Really his first mistake. What happened to him right there?
Well, we blew a couple of routes a while ago. I think he could complete about everything if we'll run correctly, because they're protecting him pretty good. But our problem is stopping them. We knew our biggest concern was our secondary, and looks like he's taking advantage of it pretty good.
You're moving the ball well. Finishing drives, though. I mean, what are you going to tell your guys about doing that in the second half?
Well, finish drives. That's what we've got to do. You're right. I mean, we're moving the ball up and down the field. They are too. You know what? We got to get in the end zone. They took advantage of their drive. We didn't take advantage of ours.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
One mistake, or it might be closer than it is right now. 14-10. The Canes coming into Tallahassee trying to pull off a win here. Don't forget to stick around after the break for the Olive Garden halftime report. Dave Matthews Band will be the 2009 college football featured band all season long, including songs from their new album Big Whiskey and the group Ruck's King. Right now, the Canes are king by 4 as we're almost set to start the third quarter. After a late touchdown drive by Miami, they've got the halftime lead. And Christian Ponder with really the only mistake made by either quarterback with the interception by Randy Phillips in the end zone that stopped a Florida State drive that could have given them the possible lead at halftime. Miami to kick to open up the third quarter. And it'll go down to the 10-yard line. Greg Reed, the freshman, still on his feet. Across the 35 and out to the 40-yard line. That's what they love about that kid. There's going to be a flag flying on top of things, I think.
It's the kicker who makes the tackle, and then he throws him down on the Florida State sideline. I mean, not too smart.
Reed got victimized a little bit on that late scoring drive by the Canes when he was playing in the secondary as a nickelback. He just made up for it with a long kick return, and they're going to tack 15 more on this as Florida State's going to be in Miami territory. Here's the call.
After the player was out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 25, 15 yards to be added to the end of the run, first down.
What a way to start the third quarter. Here's Reed, a shifty freshman, and there's way out of bounds, and that wasn't the smartest move we've seen. We talked about lack of mistakes, and Todd, the only one that was really made in the first half was by Ponder. But you talked about the quarterbacks a couple hours ago. They're both playing well.
They're both playing very well. Both teams are throwing the ball well. One difference, though, Miami ran the ball for 52 yards. Florida State only 17. I think Florida State needs to establish their run a little bit so they have a play action threat.
Here's Ponder, who's going to throw on first down inside the 40, so he picks up about 8 more quick yards as he got that one to Richard Goodman. And the guy that we talked about has been trying to come back, Colin McCarthy, just anxious to get out on the field. And hopefully this is just a cramp. He's not moving either leg. But you would think at halftime that hydration would have taken place.
You know, Brad, I mentioned the running game, and 52 yards doesn't sound like a lot of yardage running for Miami, and it's not. But it's a lot more than 17, and what that does is it makes a defense play honest and respect the run.
Right.
And then what that does is it opens up your first down passing, it opens up play action pass. In Miami, Ja'Cory Harris had 10 completions, but he was getting bigger chunks of yardage because they had the run threat. Christian Ponder had 15 completions, but smaller, dinky passes and not the same threat of the run. So I really expect to see Florida State, maybe even more 2 tight ends, and try to get their offensive line coming off the football to establish the run a little better.
Let's check in with Aaron.
Brad, thanks so much. Well, we just saw that penalty on Miami's kicker. You know, when Randy Shannon came out of the locker room after halftime, I didn't even have to ask him what kind of adjustments. He told me offensively and defensively, we got to stop it with these penalties. We are ruining great drives. Also situations, guys, 3rd and long. He said this team can't handle that right now. We have to stop putting ourselves in those situations as well.
And there's Bosher, the guy that the penalty was called on. I still think that Colin McCarthy is suffering from a cramp because he's just got that wooden-legged look,
absolutely.
and they were trying to stretch it out on the field. They're going to have to get him over the sidelines and try to get him hydrated, which apparently didn't have enough time to do in the locker room at halftime.
Well, the problem with trying to hydrate is that has to happen the night before in the morning of the game. You know, it's too hard to catch up at halftime unless you use IVs. That's about the only way you can catch up.
So here's Florida State now with a second down and short after that 8-yard pass by Ponder. Now they will try to go to the ground. And straight up the middle, Jermaine Thomas. Probably his best run of the day. The night, I should say. We hope you've had a good Labor Day weekend. We hope you've enjoyed our Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff weekend that started way back with NC State and South Carolina on Thursday night. Seems like 3 weeks ago. Jermaine Thomas, he's going to get the majority of the carries. Ty Jones has played a little bit tonight. Chris Thompson's a guy we could see, a true freshman. Ponder in the gun here on first down at the Canes 32-yard line, trailing by 4 in the opening minute of the third quarter. Ponder hangs in the pocket, down the middle, he's got his man. Rod Owens inside the 15. He just keeps mixing it up.
Well, Miami's playing a lot of coverage with those safeties splitting the field, and the middle is where it's open. Now, he made a mistake right before the half, throwing late down the middle. That time he threw on time down the middle and got the big completion.
So the worry was where the wide receivers were going to come from Florida State after a couple of good ones in Preston Parker and Greg Carr graduated last year. I don't think they're having a problem here tonight. And Thomas slips. He's hit in the backfield by Andrew Smith and goes down for a loss on the play.
A little different formation that time for Florida State, too. The pistol formation where Christian Ponder, the quarterback, is in a shotgun and the tailback is right behind him. We didn't see that at all in the first half.
Well, call it second down at 10, even though he lost almost a yard. There's Jimbo Fisher. Jermaine Thomas gimps off a little bit. And Ty Jones is going to have to go back in there in that backfield. Miami trying to change up their personnel defensively. People running all over the field here as Florida State's got it at the Canes 13-yard line, trying to regain the lead. Ponder in the pocket to the end zone, and down goes his intended receiver. In comes the flag. Richard Goodman was the guy he was trying to go to, and there was a tangled mess in the end zone there.
Yeah, Goodman was trying to get to the back of the end zone. He was just...
Defense, a foul occurred in the end zone. The ball be spotted at the 2-yard line in advance of the previous spot. Automatic first down.
JoJo Nicholas, the free safety, number 29, is just going to flatten him. Right as he's going to the back of the end zone, Nicholas doesn't even look for the ball, doesn't do anything except try to knock the receiver down. And the ball's in the air. That's a penalty all the way.
7th penalty against Miami. And the Seminoles have got it at the 2-yard line. Now they bring in the beef again with Little, the up man in the eye, the lead blocker. Ty Jones is a tailback, first and goal. They fake it to him, and now Ponder goes down at the 10. They were going to try play action right off the bat, and Alan Bailey with the first sack of the night for Miami.
Yeah, that play didn't look right. I mean, I know Jimbo Fisher was trying to catch him off guard. It looked like either Ponder turned the wrong way coming out of center or something, but something didn't look right in the timing and the execution of that play, and it cost him with a big loss.
Looks like he almost might have tripped over his center's foot, too. You're right, there was something. He stubbed his toe or something, and it didn't look normal. Anyway, he's got more grass in front of him now, and he's going to run a quarterback draw. Ponder to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown.
Well, he made up for it. He may have gone the wrong way to play before. He didn't go the wrong way that time.
You got that right. 9 yards for the touchdown.
He ran right behind Ty Jones, and the right guard, David Spurlock, number 79, pulled up into the hole, and Ponder walked into the end zone.
Ty Jones got a big-time block on Randy Phillips, and that cleaned the way once he got down close. And there's A missed extra point. I don't know if he just missed that or somebody got a hand on it. So the freshman kicker had a long field goal, but he misses an extra point. Nonetheless, Seminoles have regained the lead, 16-14.
Best.
Only had to go 46 yards in 6 plays in 3 minutes to take the lead, but a missed extra point could be costly. Ponder runs it in from 9 yards out to cap the scoring drive. Part of that drive started with Greg Reed's nice kick return and Matt Bosher with the personal foul trying to make the tackle way into the Seminole bench. So they started in Miami territory and covered 46 yards to change the lead for the 3rd time tonight. Hopkins, who missed that extra point, set the kick. He just doesn't like the short stuff. He likes the long ball. This one's about 5 yards deep, and Greg Cooper won't bring it out. Let's take a look at the touchdown again, Tom.
Oh, it's perfect execution. 3 key blocks. Datko's going to get this linebacker. Spurlock's going to pull around and get Spence right here. And then the last block, Ty Jones is going to get the safety Phillips, and Ponder's just going to follow those 3 blocks right into the end zone. 1, 2, and here's the last one. And he makes a great cut off the last block into the end zone.
That is perfect. Here's the extra point, though. And that was just missed time. The freshman kicker had a head start before the ball was even snapped, and he just shanked that thing. Nobody got a piece of it. But that definitely changes possibly what could end near the end of the ball game. It's a 2-point difference, not 3. 12 minutes and a second remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's been a good one. 54th meeting between the Canes and the Noles. Ja'Cory Harris going long in the middle. Complete to Darius Johnson. And Johnson, shaken up, might have landed on the football, but he's got it down to the 49-yard line.
Boy, this is a poor play by the free safety, Jamie Robinson, number 20. He really comes up to, I don't know what he came up on. It was a double move by the receiver, which was a nice route, but the safety, number 20, you see him chasing the play at the end, had come up on the fake. Watch Jamie Robinson come up, and then somebody runs behind him. You don't want your free safety sneaking up there and let somebody run behind you, and that time he did not help his corner.
Genajay was the guy that was covering on the corner, and he obviously is going, hey, where have you been? 31-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, the story of this game so far for Miami has been their first down passing. I mean, they have been deadly throwing the ball on first down. The first half that happened, now right now, Ja'Cory Harris is 9 of 10 throwing the football on first down, and a lot of it for big chunks.
That's unbelievable. Harris, just a sophomore, put on about 10 or 15 pounds over the course of the last year, 6'4". And he has played very, very well tonight. Darius Johnson, the sophomore out of Miami, coming off the field after making the diving catch.
Again, I go back to that running game. In the first half, Miami ran the ball well enough to make Florida State respect it. And then on first down, they got to play it even up. It could be a run, it could be a pass. And Miami has been very good at throwing the football on first down because of the run threat.
They've got another first down here inside Florida State territory again. Cooper back in at the tailback. They fake it to him, and they give it on the end around to Travis Benjamin. Benjamin had some big plays like this last year, and he goes down in a major heap, but I think a flag flew in at the end of that one, too. Well, maybe not. There's a lot of bodies over there sliding into the Miami sideline. Genajay made the tackle on the far side. No penalty. 2nd down and 5. Now they shift the fullback Hill back in the backfield with Cooper. And it'll be Greg Cooper. Only got about a yard that time. Florida State closed in a hurry. Dakota Watson, Nigel Carr are there to help on the stop.
Big play right here, I think, for the Florida State defense. 3rd down for Miami. They were not very effective on 3rd down. They were only 1 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half.
They didn't have to be. They're too good on first down.
I know that. They got all their big plays on first down, but they've got to convert here, and a good chance for Florida State to get a stop.
Behind Ja'Cory Harris and Javaris James. Harris throws, and James ricocheted off his shoulder pads, incomplete.
Harris wishes he could get this one back because it was a blitz. It was man coverage. He didn't have to rush it quite as much as he did, and I think that's what Mark Whipple's telling him right now. Let Javaris James get out in the route. Let him see the ball. You don't have to rush it. Set your feet and make an accurate throw, and that might be a touchdown.
I was going to say, had he waited that split second more, there was nobody in the middle of the field if he made that on the run. So Matt Bosher will punt. Chukwuka Ojenije is back deep for Florida State. Wow, hit that a mile in the air. Ojenije is trying to see it up there by the stars, and he did track it at about the 8-yard line. Great kick by Bosher. 36 yards long and about 60 in the air. Hey, coming up, my partner's Taste of the Town. I like the decor. I got a feeling there's some seafood involved here.
Visit Progressive.com.
Friday night in Tallahassee, Florida. State capital where the Noles are leading. They've got the ball back, but they're inside their own 10-yard line. Up by 2. And Christian Ponder back near his own goal line to throw. Going to air it out down the near sideline. Tips. Incomplete, intended for Fortson again. Brandon Harris, pretty good coverage.
Yep.
Right there with him.
Really good coverage because Brandon Harris is 5'11", and we've already talked about Fortson 6'3" with a big physical body, and Brandon Harris plays it perfectly. Comes right up between his arms, gets his hands on the football. Can't play it any better than that.
Nope. Brandon Harris, last year his first start was against Florida State. So second down at 10, just inside the 9. 4 receivers for Ponder, and again he's got that tailback behind him, and he'll use him. Ty Jones only about 2 to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and long. Alan Bailey made another tackle. So Jermaine Thomas, when he limped out a little while ago, might be enough of a problem that Ty Jones has got to carry the load now.
Well, the 2 guys behind Thomas and Jones are both true freshmen. Chris Thompson and Lonnie Pryor are both true freshmen. Very talented, but not sure Jimbo Fisher wants to trust them in a game like this, particularly pass protection wise. Not so much running it, pass protection.
3rd down. Ponder going to roll to his left and throw deep in the middle, and incomplete. Taiwan Easterling, the intended receiver, and Jared Campbell was back there defending.
It's a nice defensive possession right there for Miami. They get the good punt. They got him pinned down. Yes, low scoring. Both defenses doing okay. Field position becomes critical. 3 and out, and get your offense back on the field.
This is where you want to be really careful with that guy right there. Travis Benjamin. If Sean Powell gives him 1 to return and he gets a block or 2, could be trouble. Here's the kick. He'll take it at the 46. And they do a nice job taking him out of bounds with 9:31 remaining in the ball game. Hey, it's time to check in with my partner, Todd's Taste of the Town.
Ricardo Wright.
The nearest beach to Tallahassee is 25 miles away, but you'd never guess that by walking into Cabo's Island Grill and Bar. The restaurant's owned by Mike Ferrara, who's a surfing enthusiast, and his partner Bobby Starker. The place actually started as a small taco stand across the street in 1989. The atmosphere is funky and casual, and the menu consists of a nice combination of Mexican dishes, fresh seafood, and some vegetarian creations.
Be honest, you called him a surfer dude when you told me about it.
He is a surfer dude.
Javaris James got planted for a loss of 2. Well, what'd you eat? Now that's what I got to figure out here. I didn't go with you this trip.
What I'm going with is one of the house specialties, the fish tostada. It starts with a grilled tostada, and then it's layered with some black beans and rice, some fresh black grouper, and then topped off with some peppers, mushrooms, and onions.
Welcome back, college football.
Welcome back to the taste of the town. That looked good.
It is good.
We can use some of that right about now.
It's a healthier, smarter taste of the town this year.
Sure. You didn't have anything fried there. That's pretty good. Florida State's defense doing a nice job defensively right here, as there have been times where they've struggled a little bit tonight so far. But Mickey Andrews' crew is stiffening up at the right time, because great field position for Miami right here, and they may not be able to do anything with it. Good ball game so far, though.
It's an excellent ball game. It really is. And, you know, the thing about it is, right now it's a matter of which defense can come up and make a couple plays, because both offenses have been able to move the ball, throw the football, but right now it becomes a matter of which defense can come through.
3rd down and 11. Harris in the shotgun. Rolls. Wanted it all. Now he does go deep. And into traffic and intercepted by Greg Reed. And Reed, the freshman's got his first interception as a Seminole.
You remember the mistake that Christian Ponder made? He threw late deep. You don't throw late deep. That's what Ja'Cory Harris did on this one. He waited, and then he tried to make a throw deep down the field, and Greg Reed was there for the interception.
So each quarterback's just made one mistake, and here's Ja'Cory Harris's.
The safety came over. There was double coverage. The throw was late. And again, that we've seen both quarterbacks make the exact same mistake, throwing late on a deep route.
Well, they like this young guy, and I can see why. He's made some big plays after having one hit on him late in Miami's drive in the 2nd quarter. But he has stiffened beautifully as both a defensive back and as a kick returner. And Miami takes their first time out of the 2nd half. Randy Shannon on the sideline, his team down by 2. Let's check in with Aaron.
Brad, when I was talking to Randy Shannon coming out of the half, I asked him about Ja'Cory Harris and his poise so far, and he said he was doing a great job making adjustments when he needed to. But he told me in this 2nd half, as time started to go on, he was worried that Ja'Cory would try to win the game all by himself. And Todd, I got to ask you, quarterback up there, young guy, first time at Doak Campbell Stadium. I mean, is that what he was trying to do right there?
Yeah, you're right, Aaron. I mean, it's exactly what he made a bad decision of trying to throw the ball late for a big play down the field. I mean, it's okay to take a shot downfield, but you better do it early into the route, because the longer you hold it, the more those safeties have a chance to read the quarterback's eyes. And we see both Christian Ponder and now Ja'Cory Harris make identical mistakes.
We talked to Bobby Bowden about Christian Ponder. He made his mistakes against Wake Forest and Boston College. He threw 3 picks in both of those games. So far, he's only made 1 mistake tonight, but there you go. Every year, you get a little bit smarter on what not to do. So with the turnover, Florida State takes over with the lead and the ball at their own 18-yard line. Jones. Nice cut back in the middle. Tough run. Daryl Sharpton got him, but he picked up about 4. I wonder if Cabos is open by the time we get done with this ball game. It's almost 10:30 Eastern time. And here's Ty Jones. I'm sure he's been there to eat as well. Hey, a reminder, I want to tell everybody, if you want to win a $100 gift certificate to Cabos, you can log on to ESPN.com and search Taste of the Town and tell us why you deserve to win, and we'll pick a winner each week. I like that.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be eating good. Go to ESPN.com, Taste of the Town. Ponder, quick throw. Ooh, that was dangerous. Rod Owen stretched out. It almost ended up in the hands of Chavez Grant.
I think it surprised Chavez Grant because it got to him so quickly. The Ponder has been really accurate on those quick slants all night, but this one he threw a little bit high and a little bit hard, and it just got right up behind Chavez Grant, and he wasn't ready to make a catch.
Here's another big 3rd down for Florida State at the midway point of the 3rd quarter. They're leading by 2. A touchdown pass and a touchdown run by number 7, Christian Ponder, the junior quarterback. Porosky, his tight end, was in motion as he sets and throws to Porosky. First down and more. Inside the 45, the 35, out to the 37.
I like that call because I think, again, in the game of mismatches and matchup that favor you, I think they've got a matchup advantage with their tight ends. Both Porowski and Railford are both 6'7". They're both big guys who are going to use their bodies against smaller linebackers. I think that's a matchup that Jimbo Fisher can use more in this second half.
Porowski's dad was an All-American linebacker back in the late 70s for Florida State. He's had a touchdown catch tonight, a big third down catch there. Ponder deep middle, wide open. Richard Goodman to the 35 of Miami. A 28-yard pass play.
See, just a little bit more running by Florida State in the second half makes first down play action a viable option. They didn't have this in the first half. The play action holds the linebackers. When the linebackers are held, it allows crossing routes to come in behind them into big open spaces in the defense. The play action holds the linebackers. They have to respect the run. And then you've got nice areas between the linebackers and the deeper safeties to throw the football.
All the way to the 35-yard line. Now back to the run they go. Jones trying to take it wide. That's hard to do against most Miami defenses, and this one's no different. Joseph made the stop. So the folks on the Florida State sideline told Aaron that Jermaine Thomas is okay, but we haven't seen him since he went out.
See, the other thing that running the football does is it gets your offensive linemen fired up, gets them excited, and it's like punching a defense or a boxer in the stomach because it takes their legs away from them because it's harder for a defensive lineman to play the run than the pass.
Only 32 yards on the ground for Florida State. Here's some trickery on the end around of Lewis Gibbons. Randy Phillips trying to collar him, but he can't. Somehow he got around Phillips' grasp, but he got a first down.
Lewis Gibbons is a senior. He's only 5'8", 170 pounds, a former walk-on, transferred from Mars Hill College. But he's a guy they like to get the ball in special situations. They sneak him on the field, and then they get him the football in space.
It's fairly easy to sneak on the field. He's one of the few guys at Florida State as a wide receiver that's not a big guy. Burt Reed's bigger than he is, and the rest of the guys, as you said earlier, are all in that 6'3", 6'4" category. Chris Thompson now a freshman and a tailback. They fake it to him, and they throw it again to Easterling, and Easterling still on his feet. Touchdown. Taiwan Easterling, 21 yards, and he did a lot of it on his own. They'll go for one here as Dustin Hopkins is in for the point after. This one up and hit the right upright, but it went through. Taiwan Easterling, a guy that didn't even know if he's going to be ready for the season opener. That's the way to open things up. On this Labor Day night, he weaves his way 21 yards for a touchdown.
Yards rushing this Florida State. Florida State yards rushing right now for me, too.
Ja'Cory Harris, the interception to Greg Reed led to the touchdown by Taiwan Easterling, number 8. What a great story. Ruptured his Achilles tendon. That's not a great story, but that was in off-season conditioning. He didn't even play in the spring, and they said, will he be ready? And a lot of people said they'd never seen somebody come back from one of those kind of injuries as quickly as he did, and he just gave his team the lead, 23-14. Greg Cooper from about the 9. Cooper's got an opening. Cooper, 40. Midfield for Cooper, needs a block. Cuts back inside and all the way down to the 30-yard line. Great return by Greg Cooper. That's how you have an answer to a touchdown.
This is poor coverage by Florida State. They get out of their coverage lanes. Look at that area right in there. I mean, there's no red shirts. I mean, he was out to the 30-yard line before there was any Florida State coverage man down there. I mean, you got to be disciplined in those coverage lanes running down the field.
Todd, for a lot of last year, they didn't have the luxury of having him as a return man because Javaris James was banged up and didn't play in a lot of games, so he couldn't do that. Yep. But they love him as a return guy.
I can see why.
Second straight start for Miami in Florida State territory after a 63-yard kick return. Ja'Cory Harris, the throwback's got a man wide open and got his tight end, Epps. And Epps is almost to the goal line, down to the 2. You talk about coming back from a 82-yard drive by Florida State and having an answer with a long kick return and then that play, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, this is kind of a tricky, nifty little play by Miami. They put Epps in motion. He came from over here, and then watch. He's going to just get over here and pause. He's going to hesitate, and then he's going to cross the formation. And Florida State lost track of him. They thought he was blocking. They thought he was not involved in the play, and he snuck out the backside of the defense for a big play.
Now Javaris James, who's already got a touchdown tonight, is in the backfield again. They move Epps, the tight end, in motion. They fake it to James. And throw incomplete. His intended receiver fell down. Mike James coming out of the backfield. And he might have had a chance at the goal line for a touchdown, but he slipped. Again, the new offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, mixing it up nicely tonight, as is his counterpart, Jimbo Fisher, for Florida State. Now Harris will come up under center. He's got Hankerson in the backfield, and now they split him out to the near side. They're going to throw again on 2nd and goal. Maybe. Harris, he's got to throw it away.
Good discipline by Mickey Andrews' defense. He talked about we've got all this speed, but if we don't have discipline, it's no good. 2 plays in a row, they've shown discipline. They were disciplined on the bootleg on 1st down, and they were disciplined on the play action on 2nd down.
Now the question is, can you run it on 3rd down and goal just outside the 2? Miami's only 1 out of 7 on 3rd down conversions.
Well, one thing that Miami has not shown, but might be an option here, could be a quarterback draw for Ja'Cory Harris. They've not shown it.
James behind him. The stretch play to Javaris James. His cutback this time won't be good enough. Got away with it earlier in the ball game on the other end of the field, but not this time.
Good defensive possession in their own territory. After they gave up a couple big plays, they really tightened up on the goal line. All 3 down. Very disciplined. Good leverage. Good flying to the football. And forcing the field goal attempt.
This should be a chip shot for Matt Bosher, who was 18 out of 20 last year. And it's basically an extra point, an 18-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. Matt Pirelli will hold. Bosher with a kick, and it's good. So they wanted 7. They had to settle for 3 after 2 great plays, including the kick return and that throwback pass to Epps, the tight end, who got it down to the 2, but they could get it no further. Florida State 23, Miami 17.
We've had quite a sequence here. The touchdown for Florida State a while ago. Easterling is going to go in motion, and the play action fake is going to hold these linebackers. We talked about the importance of Florida State running. Just a little bit of fake freezes the linebackers, and then Easterling is able to slip out for the touchdown. But Miami, not discouraged, comes right back. The ensuing kickoff, and Greg Cooper gets a big-time return to get them all the way into scoring territory on 1 play. A couple big passes by Ja'Cory Harris. They don't get it in the end zone, but they get 3 important points.
And here was Javaris James, who went right and cut back on the other end of the field, this time going left and cutting back, and ran into a swarm of Mickey Andrews Seminoles. Came up short. There's the guy that got him down to the 28-yard line, and it's a 5-play drive in 1 minute and 45 seconds for the field goal. 23-17. So still a 1-possession football game here with 3:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bobby Bowden trying to go to 15-0 on his home field in openers with the Seminoles. So Bosher will kick away, and Taiwan Easterling, who just scored a couple of minutes ago, is back with Greg Reed, who had a really nice kick return of his own here in the second half. And it's going to be Reed from the 6. And Reed trying to get to the corner again. Got a block. He's pretty nifty. Reed, Foley, Bosher, the only man left. Second time tonight he's done it. 51 yards on the kick return.
You just can't take a play off in a game like this. You can't expect your kicker to have to make tackles.
No foul or a late hit out of bounds. The defender pulled up and did not hit the runner after he's out of bounds. First down.
I mean, you talk about momentum. I mean, football is a game of momentum. Miami scored. They got a big kickoff return. They want to get their defense on the field in good position. And Florida State comes right back with Greg Reed, and now all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door again. We've seen back-to-back kickoff returns set their teams up in great field possession.
Greg Reed, the freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia. Lowndes High School. His fellow defensive backs, the older guys, say, I wish I'd have had that much confidence when I came in to camp that he's had. And he's shown it tonight with an interception and 2 long kick returns. Let's check in with Aaron.
And Brad, when Miami needs this defense to hold the most, this is when they're suffering. I sat here and watched them over on the bench when the offense was out there. We've got Colin McCarthy back, linebacker, who just had an IV who was cramping up. We have Randy Phillips over on the sidelines. He's cramping up. This defense is either winded or they're complaining to the trainers that whenever they move, they start to cramp.
Phillips is not a good guy not to have in there, that's for sure. Second down and 10. Jones. Nice tough run inside again by Jones inside the 40 to the 39.
And with that report from Aaron, all the more reason for Jimbo Fisher to say, keep pounding, run the football. We like our offensive line, even though we don't have our starting tailback in Jermaine Thomas right now. Take more out of them. Make this defense get more tired as we head towards the fourth quarter.
Third down and 5. I always look for where Porowski is. He's on the right side, the tight end. 3 wideouts for Christian Ponder in the shotgun. Ponder waits and goes across the middle, completes. Another first down throw to Goodman. This is just surgery by Christian Ponder in that it's not a go-to receiver. It's taking his reads and going to the guy that's open.
You know, you hear that old adage in football, tell a quarterback, take what the defense gives you. Take what the defense gives you. That's what he's done. With the exception of one play tonight, he has done exactly that. Where the open man is, where the matchup is, that's where he's gone with the football.
It's his 5th different guy that he's gone to on third down for a first down. That alone's pretty impressive. First and 10 now. Ponder again. Lofts it. Got a man in the corner. Nope. Fortson lays out for it in front of Sam Shields. Incomplete.
Not a bad idea to take a shot there.
Yep.
You know, Sam Shields is the fastest guy on the Miami team, runs a 4.2 40, and yet he was beat on this play. It's a perfect throw by Ponder. I mean, you want to throw that over his outside shoulder away from the defender. A perfect throw that Fortson is not able to come down with.
And you see Christian goes down to his knees and bounces back up, knowing that it was just that close. Second and 10 at the Canes 29. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here's a throwback. Tried to slip. Avis Kamak through the traffic, and it's incomplete. So now it's third down at 10. And Ponder limping a little bit now.
I think we're seeing also with Miami that they've not been able to get much of a pass rush with a 4-man rush. And again, we mentioned in the first half, their projected starters at defensive end Neither one of them here. They're both injured. They're playing young guys, new guys, and they've not been able to get to Ponder very often.
Now Ponder takes his time, steps back into the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Now they got some pressure on him. He dropped the ball. First time they came around the corner, Marcus Robinson stripped it out of Ponder's hands, and Miami's got it.
Marcus Robinson beats Zebri Sanders, number 77 on the play. Just flies around him on the outside. He's going to beat his man, get a hold of the quarterback. Probably could have been a holding penalty on Sanders on this play as well. Gets around the outside, hits the ball with his left hand, and Miami comes up with it.
Just when you said they weren't getting pressure from their ends, it's like Marcus heard you. He came storming around the corner, knocked the ball out, and Josh Holmes recovered it. So there's another key turnover, and Miami takes over. At their own 39-yard line. Play action. Harris. Deep middle. Man is there, and it's complete, and it's Travis Benjamin on the run again. Benjamin down to the 32-yard line. Doing what he did a year ago. Pickup of 29.
Boy, their play action passes, their first down passes tonight have been outstanding. I mean, you get excellent protection that way because the defense has to pause a second on their way to the quarterback to make sure it's not a run. And it's a great opportunity to get big chunks of yardage. The linebackers buy the fake, and you have holes in the middle of the field. And Ja'Cory Harris has made a living on first down tonight.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this many first down passes in any league. Now it's Cooper. And he got a yard or two. Corey Mangum with the stop. And we're winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Final 45 seconds. We haven't lacked for big plays tonight, partner. If it's a run, might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Miami's worked it to the Florida State 30-yard line. Ponder's been big with a touchdown throw and a touchdown run, but he's been intercepted once, and the fumble led to this Miami drive. Here comes everybody for Florida State. Harris just trying to get rid of it. Throws a jump ball and flags are down at the 5-yard line. Patrick Robinson was back there in coverage.
Pass interference, number 21 on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, first down.
Not the kind of birthday present Patrick Robinson was planning on giving himself.
And Florida State is bringing everybody. They're bringing pressure, and amazingly, Ja'Cory Harris gets enough on this ball under duress because Jacoby McDaniel put a real shot on him, and the ball was underthrown, and because it was underthrown, that's what drew the contact from Patrick Robinson.
So it's at the 15-yard line. Patrick, the senior, a Miami native. First mistake he's made tonight. Ja'Cory Harris trying to take advantage of it. Inside handoff to Cooper. Cooper takes it outside. Inside the 5. And out of bounds.
Well, what a great run, though. The little stop and start. I mean, he stepped in and broke out, and then he did it again, a second time in the run.
There, his left foot went out as he was diving for the pylon. I think you're going to see right about there. Now, where his body was, it's another story.
Yeah.
Wow. What an effort by Cooper. And this one's going to be reviewed, I think. With a second left. Nope, no seconds left. It's going to be the end of the quarter. It is. End of the quarter. 3 complete. We've loved having Kenny Chesney along with us on this kickoff weekend. Do it one more time there, KC. It's entering the 4th quarter. Florida State at home leading 23-17. The last play of that quarter as Greg Cooper heads to the corner. His left foot sliding out of bounds. And sometimes looks can be deceiving from angles. Look at the right. It almost looks like his body is in, but on the left-hand side, you can see his foot's going out, and he's nowhere near the goal line at that point. So it's 1st and goal at the 2. Remember, they had 1st and goal at the 2 last time, and they had to settle for a field goal.
I bet they don't throw on 1st down this time.
They're going to give it straight up the gut to James, and he didn't get anywhere. Javaris James hit by Dakota Watson. Dakota Watson, the captain of the defense, a top returning tackler. Mickey Andrews coaching him up. Chuck him out of the linebacker coach, former head coach at NC State, who was here before he went to NC State. Those guys been around a long time together. And now James stays in there on 2nd down and goal. They load up with an extra lineman, and Harris just was never comfortable in the huddle. And there goes the 2nd time out. We'll take one as well. 14-13 to go in the ball game. Florida State, number 18 in the country, leading Miami by 6.
These two here, guys. It's all good, man. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Follow me.
There you go, guys. Enjoy the games.
Heineken Light, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, can you pass me one? Please?
Heineken Light. Give yourself a good name.
What can you learn from Tony Stewart?
You gotta sell stuff you love. People have to trust you. You are what you endorse. So any questions?
Why is nobody buying my Estrada glasses? Hello? Estrada.
Look at me, I got 1 million of these Care Crushers on load. Nothing. How do you do it, Tony?
Look, endorse things you believe in. Like me and the Whopper. I endorse it because I love it.
Okay, you lost me on that one, Tony.
Estrada.
Whopper, flame fresh taste, endorsed and loved by Tony Stewart.
When I think of value, I think of Wrangler. Always have.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built comfortable. Priced right.
You can pay more, but you won't get more.
Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Introducing the Gatorade Limited Edition Jordan Series. Collect all 6. That's G.
Wood finishing projects can feel too big to tackle, but Minwax always makes it easy with rich wood stains and clear protective finishes. It's that simple. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
Tomorrow night at the U.S. Open, razor-sharp Serena Williams looks to continue her title defense, while injury-stricken star Rafael Nadal faces a tough test against Gael Monfils. The U.S. Open tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on ESPN2.
After the game on SportsCenter, Oklahoma's national title hopes in jeopardy. We've got the latest on Sam Bradford's shoulder. Derek Jeter eyeing an all-time Yankee record, in which National League pitcher may have grabbed hold of the Cy Young. After the game.
Following the timeout, let's see if Miami's got it straightened out. They've got an extra lineman on the left, 2 tight ends set. Javaris James in the backfield. He'll get the call. Didn't get there.
Florida State was offsides, though. They got the stop, and they tripped him up, but they were offsides on the outside.
So we'll give him another crack, half the distance to the goal.
Offside, defense, left end, half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
So that's 2nd and goal at the 1. Or inside the 1. Harris had a chance with the penalty call to trot over briefly to the sideline. And now he'll break the huddle, and he's going to hear it from the Seminole fans down there in that end zone. James Williams, and Hill, the fullback, behind him. He'll take it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Miami. Ja'Cory Harris on a quarterback sneak.
Did a nice job running right behind Orlando Franklin, the left guard. 6'7", 318, pretty good idea. He kind of leaned into the center, and Ja'Cory just slipped his slender body right in behind him for the touchdown.
Remember that missed extra point by Florida State? Miami hits this one. That's the difference in the ball game so far. And now they're reviewing the play. I don't see where there's any doubt.
Doesn't look like it.
His legs were still moving forward. He hadn't hit the ground yet. Unless they're seeing something we're not. Looked like a nice, clean 1-yard quarterback sneak. Jim Flanagan talking to the replay officials. I think he's happy with his decision.
After further review, the ruling on the stands, touchdown.
So Matt Bosher's upcoming extra points could give us another lead change. He didn't miss any last year. He hasn't missed any tonight. Matt Corelli will hold. Long way to go, but the Hurricanes are in front. 10 unanswered points. And the 4th lead change of the night. There's the freshman kicker that missed an extra point earlier, but hit a big field goal. 24-23. Miami in front. .43 remaining. One of the folks that made the trip from Miami happy, at least temporarily. Fear the future. That's what they hope. And you do envy the past when you've got 5 national championships in the last 25 years. There's your scoring by quarters. The touchdown here in the 4th puts Miami in front. Reminder, college football continues on ABC Saturday afternoon. Big battle in the big house. Fighting Irish go into Ann Arbor. Charlie Weiss and Rich Rodriguez hoping to take a big step forward this season. College football on ABC. Notre Dame, Michigan, Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Both with pretty impressive wins in their openers. With Todd Blackledge and Aaron Andrews, I'm Brad Nessler. Nice to have you along with us on this capper of our Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff weekend. It started about a month ago, and we've got 13:43 remaining. Started Thursday night, in all honesty, and had some good football. This has been one of the best games so far of the weekend.
Well, this has been a game of plays and then answers, scores and then answers, and both teams have done it. Both teams have responded, and it's probably going to come right down to that.
Short kick. Almost fumbled right there, but it'll be good field position. That's another one of those short kicks tonight that's going to give, in this case, good field position for Florida State. They'll start from the 36-yard line. We came into this one talking about quarterbacks. Both these young guys have looked really good. Ponder, of course, is the upperclassman, but Ja'Cory Harris, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, he's got such poise, you know, and he's got great leadership skills. Plus, he can really throw the football. You know, he's an excellent young quarterback. And I think the other thing we're seeing, both these teams, we talked at the very top of the show, they're both close to being back. You can see it. There's a lot of skill. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of fight in these teams. And the winner tonight takes a major step forward, not just in the ACC, but in the state of Florida and recruiting. I mean, this is a very significant game for both of these teams.
Absolutely. And remember, Florida State ranked 18th coming into this game. So if Miami could go on the road in Tallahassee and pull an upset, that'd be a huge feather in their cap because they've got a tough schedule coming up. There's the quarterbacks, 264 and 276, each with an interception. Harris with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run. Ponder with 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Not a bad night for either guy. Second down and 9. Christian in the shotgun. Quick throw across the middle, tipped and almost intercepted. Intended for Rod Owens. Brandon Harris was there along with Sean Spence.
That's got to be a catch for Rod Owens. At this point in the game, I mean, every play counts. And your quarterback throws it where he's supposed to throw it, and you've got to make this catch. Now you've got 3rd and long when it should have been either a first down or 3rd and short. Christian Ponder only 6 of 13 at this half after an excellent start, but that one there was not his fault.
And he's only hit 1 of his last 5. 3rd and 9. Ponder throwing out and incomplete. Richard Goodman got kind of turned around and he was open. I don't know that he had gotten the first down though. Bobby Bowden in his 34th season as a head man of the Seminoles, his 44th year overall. Sean Powell now to punt. Travis Benjamin has had another big night for Miami. He might get a shot at this one. He does from the 31. Nice coverage though by the Seminoles, so we got about a yard on the return. And we're back on campus. Brought to you by the movie Sorority Row. Bobby Bowden on campus, as I said, for the 34th year. 2 wins behind Joe Paterno. 309 have come here at Florida State. 27 consecutive bowl appearances. And talking to him the other day, I said, Coach, I remember back about 30 years ago when you were the guy taking on all the big names and big schools and running all the trick plays, and now you're the hunted. And I said, which is more fun? He said, I kind of think those end-around passes and stuff were kind of fun. He's still having fun doing it. Again, they'll throw on first down. And Harris, this time incomplete, intended for LaRon Byrd.
Yeah, only the 3rd one that he's missed on first down. He was 11 of 13 on first down before that play. Make it 11 for 14 now, but that's where they've gotten their plays. That's where their big chunks of yardage have come. It's good for protection. It's good to hold linebackers. And Miami has really capitalized on that.
Looks like Mark Whipple had a little bit of a headset problem over there. They're going to the spare, as we call it. He's all hooked back up. Hopefully he's not talking to the defense. He's got his offensive guys in his ear. Hit the right button. 2nd and 10. Harris
looked to throw a screen, it looked like.
Yep, his safety valve is Cooper, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage, or barely.
And this is where Ja'Cory Harris needs to be smart. Again, at this point in the game, a 1-point game, you've got the lead. This is the area where Florida State typically likes to get you on defense. 3rd and 10. They'll bring their nickel defense in, their fast pass rushers. You're Ja'Cory Harris. You want to be smart with the football right here.
Big 3rd and 10 with 12 minutes remaining. Harris in the shotgun, and here comes some speed off the corner, and he's hit as he throws. It's intercepted. Going the other way is Marcus White. Touchdown! Not only was he intercepted for a score, but Ja'Cory Harris looks like he's hurt.
Well, we saw a quarterback walk off holding his right shoulder a couple days ago, and that's what Ja'Cory Harris did at the end of this play. Again, it was Greg Reed, who has had a big-time night for the Florida State Seminoles, who made the play.
He made the hit, that guy with the interception.
Ja'Cory Harris hurt his right shoulder last year, the last ball game of the year, then re-injured it in the Emerald Bowl on a similar play. Watch Greg Reed hit Ja'Cory Harris's arm. His right throwing arm, as he throws, Greg Reed goes right into the arm and hurts the shoulder. The ball gets fluttering up in the air, and the interception return for the touchdown. Again, this kind of game, that situation, you got to just take care of the ball. Now, I don't know what else Ja'Cory Harris could have done there other than eat it and punt. But that's the worst thing that could have happened to Miami.
Remember, we talked about backup quarterbacks. A.J. Highsmith is a true freshman. He's the only guy, and there he is warming up. I mentioned at the end of last season, Robert Marv, who had been a starter last year, transferred. And then Taylor Cook and Cannon Smith in the same week, two redshirt freshmen, transferred late this summer. The cupboard's almost bare, partner, on the quarterback scene, except this young guy. And you didn't want him in a game this big this early. Florida State's going to go for 2.
And again, that missed extra point earlier in the game. They're only up right now by 5. They need to try to get it to a 7-point lead.
Almost looked like Miami was offside, but they hold their ground. And now Ponder for 2. Throws, caught. And it's Goodman for 2. A 7-point game now. They got their point back. 5th lead change. What a game. But now the question is, who's the quarterback on the ensuing drive for the Canes? 31-24 Florida State. All right, Wendy, thank you. That is good news for Sam, we hope. But that picture is very close to the one we saw with number 12 a couple of minutes ago walking off the field. He's warming up. He's been trying to shake his fingers a little bit as if he's trying to get feeling in his hand. It appears Ja'Cory Harris is going to try to take the field for Miami. As Florida State's taking the lead on that interception, the second of Harris tonight. Greg Reed, the freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia, had something to do with both of them. One, it was his interception, and in that case, it was his hit on the arm of Harris. Greg Cooper from the 7th. Cooper out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And he's coming back out.
Well, here's what happened the last time he was out there. Greg Reed is going to come in on a little zone blitz. It's only a 4-man rush, but they kind of fooled the offensive line of Miami. He gets free and goes right for the arm of Ja'Cory Harris. The ball gets away, flutters up into the air, and Marcus White takes it in for the touchdown.
Florida State was offside on their kickoff team. And so they're going to kick it again.
Yeah, I'd give Cooper another chance if I was Miami. He's having a good night at it. And we talked about the backup quarterback at Miami being A.J. Highsmith. His dad, Alonzo, a great running back for the Miami Hurricanes in the day. And he's a talented young guy, but you know, 2 weeks ago, he probably thought he was going to redshirt and just learn the system and maybe be on the, you know, maybe Randy Shannon would bring him along to travel just to kind of get him indoctrinated to it. But 2 redshirt freshmen leave on the same day. All of a sudden now he's not just holding the clipboard. He's 1 play away from the starting job.
He went from 3rd or 4th string to maybe snapping that chin strap on here in a second. So Greg Cooper huffing and puffing a little bit, but he will get another crack at Dustin Hopkins' kickoff.
I'm not so sure I don't kick a hard squib on this one and not kick it up in the air and let Cooper catch it on the 10 or 15, because they have not had good coverage on the high kicks.
This one might come down at about the 25-yard line if he doesn't get all of it. And if Cooper gets ahead of steam, he might be in the midfield before anybody knows where he is. Yeah, he did get a deep kick. Nice job all the way back to the 3-yard line. Cooper. Well, it all worked out for the best for Florida State, in fact.
And Brad, because Sam Bradford has been the talk of Labor Day weekend, I did ask offensive coordinator Mark Whipple about their backup quarterback, A.J. Highsmith, and he said, look, when everybody saw Sam Bradford go down, every coach, assistant coach just cringed because everybody worries about their number 2 quarterback. And if you don't, you're a bad coach. But most teams only have a number 1 quarterback. And Randy Shannon had said it all week long. A.J. Highsmith, 18 years old. We don't want to play him if we don't have to.
He's standing over there at the ready behind Coach Whipple, but it's Ja'Cory Harris under center. And flags fly, and this one's another false start.
Offense, 5 yards, still first down.
Orlando Franklin. He looks at his other linemen, including A.J. Trump, the center, as if to say, Dad, the snap count wrong, or what was the deal there? Third false start penalty against Miami. 11 and a half minutes to go. 31-24. Last year, it was 41-39. But we didn't have this many lead changes. Harris, middle screen, blown up completely. In fact, the ball, I think it's incomplete, which is probably just as well. Nigel Bradham had it read beautifully. It is incomplete, and that's actually a good thing for Miami.
Yeah.
The fans, 81,077 on this Labor Day night's matchup with the Canes.
And once again, Florida State has Miami right where they want them defensively. Second and long. Not able to do that first down play action pass.
On the ground, but it's only going to be about a 2-yard gain for Lee Chambers. Greg Reed, how about the freshman? No wonder all the upperclassmen are saying, I wish I had his kind of cockiness and confidence when I was his age.
Well, he's only 175 pounds. And he's 5'9", 175, but I'll tell you what, certain guys play bigger than their program says they are. He does.
He's got an interception, 2 long kick returns, a forced interception, if you will, and there is just plain good heads up, making a tackle football. 3rd and 15. Miami only 1 out of 9 on their 3rd down conversions tonight. And here they come after Harris. Throws complete. Hankerson made a nice move, and he got the first down. Boy, tough move first to get around a guy and then to power his way.
It was a nice move by Hankerson, but it was a bad play by Patrick Robinson, who was in coverage, because he took a bad angle for the tackle. It was 3rd and long. All he has to do is make a normal tackle after the catch, and they're punting. But he took a bad angle, and that's what Mickey says. That speed is great, but if there's not discipline with it, it can be a detriment. In that case, it was a detriment.
We approach the 10-minute mark. The drive stays alive for the Miami Hurricanes. Ground game's not getting much for either team. Lee Chambers is brought down by Craig Yarborough.
This Yarborough is an interesting story to me. He attended Tallahassee Community College in 2006 and 7. And then he walked on at Florida State. He redshirted his first year here. Did not play a down last year in 2008. And tonight on Labor Day, the opening game against Miami, he's the starting defensive end for the Seminoles.
And he's not a very big guy. 6'2", about 235 pounds, but he's playing his heart out tonight. 2nd and 10. Harris in the shotgun. But he'll keep it on the ground to Chambers. And a swarm tackle. After a pickup of maybe 4, Kendall Smith led the way. Well, the clock's going to wind under 9 minutes here now. A 7-point game. Miami needs a touchdown and an extra point to tie it. Bobby Bowden pacing that sideline for the 44th season. 34 of them here.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time for Miami. 9 minutes left. But one thing to keep in mind, they've burnt 2 timeouts already this second half. They only have 1 left.
They did the same thing in the first half. Harris, plenty of time and running out of it. Got away from Dakota Watson. Now he loads, fires down the middle, and he's got Benjamin again. Benjamin still on his feet. And Benjamin's got a first down in Seminole territory at the 38-yard line. Another pickup of 21. And the athletic ability and escapability of Ja'Cory Harris kept that play alive.
You know, and he's so calm that it almost looks like he stops playing. I mean, he just almost kind of stops and floats.
It almost looked like there was a whistle right there.
Until I thought there was a whistle. He's just kind of floating back there, and he eludes Watson. And the best thing he does, what you want a quarterback to do, is even though your feet are moving, you want their eyes to stay downfield. And that's the reason he was able to find Benjamin.
He's passed for 300 yards now tonight. And he's got his team a first down inside the 38-yard line of the Seminoles. Maybe to the 34 is Lee Chambers. They'll bring up second down and 6. And we're under 8 minutes. They're going without a huddle here to try to hurry things up a little bit. Meanwhile, Florida State kind of trotting some guys to the sideline. Looks like Dakota Watson is either hurt or gassed. I don't know if he ever got off the field. Pass is incomplete on the far side.
I think what Dakota Watson was trying to do was trying to make the referee not let him snap it until he got back on sides.
I don't really think he was to the sideline when they snapped it, but it was close enough, I guess, that it wasn't a problem. 3rd and 6 now. They've converted 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 6 on this drive so far. Nicky Andrews, defense trying to come up with a stop. The Hurricanes trying to convert on the 9th play of the drive, trailing by a touchdown. Harris over the middle and a crossing pattern, and it is a first down. Ron Collier again.
I'll tell you what Ja'Cory Harris does really well. I mean, he's done this all night. He retreats ever so slightly when the pressure's coming, but he still has plenty enough arm to make the throw. Watch him just feel the blitz coming and retreat just a little bit. A little back pedal, just enough to get away from the pressure, and then still make the accurate throw on the crossing route against man coverage.
And timeout. With 7:21 remaining, Florida State takes a timeout as their defense is on its heels a little bit. You can see, and we saw them, Todd and I, in practice about a week and a half ago, and they ran a lot of gassers after a long 2-hour workout, and their practices have been more up-tempo. Everything they've done this year has been a little bit different as far as their training. So, but still, this is the first game of the season, and everybody's tired.
Well, and you've got adrenaline, and you've got energy, and you've got all kinds of changes of emotion and momentum, and it's different than practice, and it's different than running gassers, and we've seen it affect both teams. We've seen cramps on the Miami sideline. We see both teams having to take timeouts to rest their teams. And,
well, this is a big game in the ACC, obviously, for these two teams. In ACC headlines, Jonathan Dwyer, Georgia Tech, picking up where he left off last year, scored on the first play of the season. And Georgia Tech beat Jacksonville State. North Carolina won their opener. They had a bunch of offense against the Citadel. Must have had Paul McGuire playing linebacker for the Citadel again. Virginia and Duke losing to William and Mary in Richmond. Those are the two black eyes from the weekend. And then, of course, NC State could muster virtually nothing against South Carolina last Thursday night. So this is the best game so far involving ACC teams, but this is the one where they're playing each other, and it's an old rivalry that dates back to the early 50s. It's for bragging rights in state, in conference. Bobby Bowden is 14-20 against Miami in his career. Wasn't a great spring for Bobby either. He got shingles. Said, I always thought shingles sounded kind of cute, like it wouldn't be that bad. Said, you don't ever want shingles. First down, just inside the Florida State 25. Looks like the Noles are going to come with pressure. They will. Harris is going to loft one to the corner. Cooper's got it for a touchdown. 24-yard touchdown on a lob pass from Harris to his tailback, Greg Cooper.
What a great route by Cooper. A great call by Mark Whipple. They took Cooper and they put him out as a wide receiver. And what the response from Florida State was to put a linebacker, Kendall Smith, out there. Watch the fake slant. The linebacker bit, and then he goes to the corner, and the linebacker, Kendall Smith, had no chance. A beautiful call, and again, matchup. Where do we have a matchup? They got a touchdown out of it.
Greg Cooper bobbled it, kept his concentration, basically caught it twice in the corner of the end zone. He's had a big game too. Extra point by Bosher is good. I don't think you want to go anywhere. I know it's been a long weekend. 7:14 left. 31-31. Well, the 81,000 plus have gotten their money's worth tonight. Greg Cooper with the touchdown catch, capping a 73-yard drive, and we've got a tie ball game. Here's a squib kick down the middle, trying to keep it out of Reed and Easterling's hands, and it does a good job of that at the 30-yard line. Well, there's Dustin Hopkins, a freshman kicker. Remember, he ignited the crowd with the longest first field goal ever by a Florida State player of 52 yards. Here was a miscue. He got going a little too early. That missed extra point's the difference in the game. And he hit the upright with his last extra point. The reason we're telling you that, Florida State only needs a field goal to win should they put a long drive together. And nothing would be more fitting than to cap a Labor Day weekend with a freshman trying to kick the ball to win a game. He might not have to. Ty Jones blasts his way for the biggest run of the night for Florida State at 27 yards.
Great job blocking by the right side of the Florida State offensive line. David Spurlock, the right guard. Zebri Sanders, the right tackle. Watch these two guys just open the way. The pistol formation, the give to the tailback deep, and he just kind of reads. It's a zone play. He just looks for the crease. Excellent execution by the Seminoles.
First down at the Hurricane 43-yard line. Now Ponder will give it off to Jones again. Jones, same play. Down to the 34, maybe the 33. Very close to another first down.
They call that the stretch play because the back wants to stretch until he sees a crease, and anywhere he sees one, he can cut back. As long as you secure the backside and don't let somebody chase the play from the backside, you're okay. In this case, the way they're securing the backside is Ponder is faking the bootleg, and that's holding that backside defender.
They'll give it to Jones a third time in a row. Both hands around the football to the 29. 6 minutes left. Pick up of 5 more. Boy, the sophomore, 203-pounder out of Tampa, is really the workhorse so far for Florida State here in the late going of the fourth quarter. He's got 41 on this drive. Last year was Antoine Smith, who had 2 big touchdowns and a near 100-yard night. Now it's Ty Jones. This time he slips on his own and lost a yard.
Well, you want to do 2 things here if you're Florida State. Obviously, you want to score, first of all. You want to take the lead. But, you know, you won't feel too bad if you use a bunch of clock in the process, because you've already seen that your defense is having some problems stopping Ja'Cory Harris in the Miami offense. So you want to put as much duress on them as you can when they do get the ball back.
Florida State 4 straight runs. Jermaine Thomas is in there now in the backfield for the first time in a long time. Porowski, the tight end, is in there as Ponder in the shotgun's going to throw complete. And it's Thomas trying to get away from the defender, and he can't. Maybe got 2 yards, and you see he's still limping a little bit.
It's a nice tackle by Chavez Grant, because again, you know, when you throw the ball out short to somebody in space, it's a one-on-one tackling situation, and a missed tackle results in a long gain. It's a short throw, and you hope the guy can make one guy miss or break one tackle, and Chavez Grant doesn't let go. He waits till somebody comes to help, and it's a short, minimal gain.
Here's the third down of the night. 3rd and 8. And here comes a blitz from the Canes. Ponder lofts it to the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Ron Owens. Sam Shields was covering.
You know, Sam Shields has only been a corner for a few months.
Right.
I mean, he was a wide receiver the first part of his career. He's very fast, and I think the problem here is the ball's underthrown. Shields never sees the ball. He's just playing the receiver, but the ball's underthrown. If that ball is thrown a little bit deeper, Shields has no idea where it is, and I think it's a touchdown.
If you've ever seen Florida State and Miami, you know about all the wide rights and then one wide left. This from 45 yards with 4:16 left would give them the lead. The freshman with a kick on the way, and it is perfect. So for the second time, Dustin Hopkins from long range, this time from 45. And at least temporarily, he's given Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles the lead. Can't do it any better than that.
Nope.
And a former All-American and All-Pro Derek Brooks on the sideline says that's what I like about these young guys that can kick.
Well, there have been 17 games in this series between Miami and Florida State that have been decided by 3 points or less. That's where we are right now. Miami has held the upper hand in those games. They lead 11-6 in those games. However, Florida State, the last 3 games they've won in this series have been by that 3-point margin or less.
You saw Matt Bosher pacing the sideline. Both the punter and the kicker. His career long is 52 yards. If it comes down to a field goal to tie, we could be looking at overtime, and Ja'Cory Harris would just like to end it in regulation with a touchdown drive.
Well, I've been impressed with both of these quarterbacks. I mean, both of them look so much more comfortable, so much more confident than they did on tape from last year. And they have both played outstanding games. And really, Christian Ponder was maybe a little better in the first half, and Ja'Cory Harris, I'm not so sure he hasn't been a little bit better in the second half.
So Hopkins, who just hit the big field goal, will kick off. Greg Cooper has been sensational as a return man. I think he'd like to keep it out of his hands if he could. And they'll try to do that. And it's a line drive. It's taken by one of the up man at the 40-yard line. It's still going to be good field position at the 41. Jordan Futch is the guy that did it.
Well, you know what? Everybody wondered, could Ja'Cory Harris take a hit? I mean, would he be able to withstand the punishment? He's tall and skinny, 6'4", 190. He took the hit, and he came right back. And he hit 3 huge third down plays on their last scoring drive. 1 for 16, 1 for 21, 1 for 9. And then he went deep for the touchdown to Greg Cooper. A great call at the right time. But Ja'Cory Harris showed something in that last drive coming back after the hit.
He's 18 out of 31, 334 yards and a couple of touchdowns to 8 different receivers he's gone. Career high night. Now he's got 4 minutes and 1 timeout to work with. A field goal to tie, a touchdown to win. Harris, quick throw across the middle again to Javaris James. And Javaris has got it out near midfield. Plenty of time for Miami. 3:50 and counting. Pickup of about 7, 2nd down and 3. Been very comfortable with those crossing patterns tonight. This time James on the ground, and he's not going to get to the first down marker. Well, maybe he will. He got a lot closer than I thought he was going to. An extra surge at the end. I still think he's about a foot short, but we'll wait and see until they unpile.
Stop was made by Dakota Watson.
And they're going to measure.
Again, the advantage you have if you're Miami is you've got 2 backs that are built about the exact same way. Both of them 6 foot, 205, 208. You keep them fresh, you keep rotating them, and they keep slamming into that defense that's got to be fatigued at this point in the game.
It's not quite a foot that I was talking about. Less than. So 3rd down and inches with 3:25 remaining in the ball game in regulation. They need to get it to the 49-yard line. Fans are trying. It's been a long day and a long night and a lot of tailgating. Trying to help out the Seminole defense. Now Fox shifts over the tackle on the right side. They're overloaded that way. They'll go that way. And Cooper's got the first down. Greg Cooper, tough run. Only needed about the length of the football, and he got a yard and a half.
Florida State is forced to play some guys in here in the defensive front. Right now they've got a true freshman, Jacoby McDaniel, number 99, who's in there. Bud Thacker is a senior who has played some tonight but has a toe injury and is not playing very much, so they've had to play some younger guys, and now it's a crucial time of the game when you got those young guys in.
Do they bring any pressure on Harris here in the shotgun on first down? Throws again, complete. And Hankerson goes out of bounds on the far side. Greg Reed knocked him out. Pick up a 5. And that stops the clock with 2:32 remaining. What a way to start the football season for these two teams.
Well, we talked about the importance of this game for both of them. They both want to get off to a good start in the league. Just for the rest of their season. We talked about the early schedule for Miami, how brutal. But you know what? Florida State's is pretty brutal, too. Yep. We just saw a BYU team that they play in a couple weeks up in Provo that's going to be serious.
2nd and 5 at the Knowles 42. Harris play fake. Scrambles up in the pocket and throws long, and he's got a man out there.
Oh, my gosh. What a throw.
Travis Benjamin out at the 2.
Pass was complete to number 3, Travis Benjamin.
40 yards. The same guy that did it to the Seminoles a year ago. Number 3, Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, but it was Robert Marr playing last year, and it wasn't this guy. Great job of just maneuvering in the pocket, but again, keeping his eyes downfield. Not panicking, finding more time in a throwing lane, and then a perfect throw on the flag route right over the shoulder to Benjamin.
Travis Benjamin's caught 4 balls for 128 yards on the night. And we've got a timeout.
The previous play is under further review.
So the timeout's for review. If everything stands as is, it's a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Here's another look.
You only have to have 1 foot in. There's the catch.
From behind, Benjamin.
Wow. You know, he had his left foot down, but the question is, was the foot back up before he had possession of the ball? Because the right foot landed out of bounds.
That was kind of one of those mid-air things.
Yeah.
I think so.
Toe looks like it's still on the ground.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
It was called a catch.
It was.
It's got to be.
That looks pretty good right there.
Yeah.
It looks like his instep or his the ball of his foot is bent inside his spike right there.
Wow, what a throw.
Some great looks the guys are giving, not only the replay officials, but us, because that was a boom, boom play there. And as it appears, as Todd said, it's called a catch on the field. Here's the call.
After further review, the running on the field is confirmed. First down.
What a huge play. 40 yards to the 3. Now remember, Florida State's got a timeout left, and they would have, depending on how things go, maybe a minute and a half to work with. It just all depends on what Miami does right here. They might just kind of blast it, and hope they can get it and use clock at the same time. Corey Harris, since taking that big hit from Greg Reed, we didn't even know if he'd come back in. How about 7 out of 9 for 122 and a touchdown? 1st and goal, Miami. Trying to regain the lead here late in the 4th quarter, and Greg Cooper's got it. Touchdown. Wow. Cooper, a 3-yard scoring run. And the Canes are back in front. The extra point, if it's good, would force Florida State to have to score a touchdown to win. Nothing's automatic, so Matt Bosher will come in for an all-important extra point. And it's good. The 6th lead change of the night. And Miami, with 1:53 remaining, in command for the moment. But Christian Ponder and Florida State have 1:53 and 1 timeout to work with, but they need a touchdown.
Well, take a look at this touchdown. They had 2 fullbacks in the game. Travaris Johnson, number 23, and the other one is Patrick Hill, right there, number 30. Both fullbacks got key blocks on this play, and Greg Cooper just followed him in. There's 23, there's 30, and there's the touchdown for Miami.
38-34.
Boy.
And Benjamin's catch from 40 yards from Ja'Cory Harris is what set up the score. There's just been some great individual performances tonight. This guy's been part of it. Benjamin, obviously, huge receptions. And Ja'Cory Harris growing up in front of our eyes.
He's been spectacular. And again, for Christian Ponder, I mean, he started off, had a great first half. He's cooled off here a little bit in the second half, but he's going to have to get hot real quick.
Ponder's 7 out of 16 in the second half.
And again, that missed extra point, you know how big? They've got to score a touchdown here. They can't settle for a tying field goal. They've got to go for touch.
Hopkins has done big things, but he'd like to have one kick back for sure. We said it when it happened. It could change the complexion of the game. It has. And now Bosher is set to kick away. He's going to line drive it again. This should be good field position. Maybe better than good. Greg Reed again. They put Greg Reed in a spot where if they did do a squib kick, he could do something with it.
But Miami has done that several times tonight, whether it's the short pooch kick or whatever. And every time they've done it, it's kind of come back to haunt them a little bit. Now, I don't know if they don't think that Bosher has enough leg to get the ball deep. Maybe they better find a new kickoff guy, because this really helps Christian Ponder and Florida State.
Christian Ponder and the Seminoles are 49 yards away from a win. That's still a long ways to go. They need a touchdown. Ponder in the gun. Fires to the outside, complete to Burt Reed and out of bounds. Picked up with 8. As Todd said, this is a time for him to get hot again if he can. And that was a good, smooth start.
He doesn't have to get it all right away. They've got 1:43. He still has 1 timeout. And the mistake he made tonight, when he has made a mistake, has been throwing late, deep down the middle of the field.
2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground to try to get the first down, and they don't get it. In fact, they lost one. Colin McCarthy, nice play by the linebacker. So now it's 3rd down. Of course, it's 2-down territory, so that's not a big problem. They go without a huddle, and now we might have another player cramping up. We've got a Hurricane down in Marcus Fortson.
Well, the fans are booing, but it actually is good for Florida State because it stops the clock. I mean, the clock would not have stopped on that running play.
The play clock, they're going to add 4 seconds with an injury to the defensive player here with a 3rd down and 3. Gives Randy Shannon's defense a chance to talk things over too a little bit. And Jimbo Fisher with his quarterback and his arm on his shoulder.
Yeah. So, I mean, for a critical 3rd down play, you get extra time to talk on the sideline. Now he goes out, and you get your team all squared away on what the play is, so that as soon as they clear the field and the referee marks it ready to play, you're ready to snap the ball and play football. So the injury for Miami actually really benefits Florida State from a communication standpoint before this third down play.
Reed and Fortson and Easterling, the wide receivers for Ponder. And he's going to keep it. And he's got a first down and more. Ponder, 20, all the way to the 11.
Well, Ty Jones did it again, the lead blocker.
Talk about a gutsy call.
Wow. 3rd and 2. Put it in the hands of your leader, your quarterback. And watch Ty Jones, number 33, lead up in there. Boom, right on the safety, Phillips.
Sean Phillips, Randy Phillips rather, has seen all he wants to see of Ty Jones tonight. First down, Florida State at the Hurricane 12. Trying to take the lead. Throw across the middle. Porosky, the tight end, has got it at the 4-yard line. 45 seconds. A timeout remaining for Florida State. Miami up by 4.
Clock is running, and they're switching personnel. This is going to take a little time for Florida State. It's not just line up and run the play. They switched about 3 different people, which is eating up some time for the Seminoles. Now Miami's trying to switch personnel. Meanwhile, the clock is still going.
And now timeout, I believe, taken by Miami.
But you know what? That doesn't hurt Miami, because all that time went off the clock because Florida State didn't call timeout and tried to change personnel for a more of a goal line type formation. Miami had to waste their last time out, but Florida State wasted a lot of valuable seconds trying to change personnel groups to get the play call.
You go back to some of the kickoffs tonight. Now, granted, we've had some excellent kick returns. Greg Cooper's done a great job. Greg Reed for Florida State's done a great job. But that line drive kick and having Greg Reed in the right place as an up man got him all the way down to the 49-yard line.
Well, and here's the problem. Both offenses have exposed the defenses. They both moved the ball when they've needed to. They've both scored points. This hasn't been a defensive slugfest. So why put your defense in a hole by giving the offense a short field? At least help them out by making the offense go far.
23 seconds left. 2nd and 2. Florida State on the option. Ponder kept it.
Now they're going to have to call timeout.
And he lost a yard. Colin McCarthy again. Jimbo Fisher, you could see the reaction in front of Bobby Bowden. Bobby's almost afraid to look right now.
See, the option fooled Miami last year. They weren't prepared for it. They weren't ready for Christian Ponder's running. Now, he's made a couple plays on the quarterback draw tonight, but the option, they've been ready.
Now, if they should do something like a quarterback draw, they would really have to hustle. This looks like 2 passes to the end zone with 17 seconds left.
This has to be. Now, you might roll him out and give him the option to run it in if he sees it, but I don't know that you can call a run at this point.
So everybody out of timeouts, everybody almost out of breath of 81,077 here, and all of you that are joining us to wrap up our Labor Day weekend of college football. What a show we've had in Tallahassee. Miami 38, Florida State 34, and that look pretty much tells the whole story. 17 seconds left. It's 3rd and 3. They can get a first down inside the 2, but it really doesn't matter because of the time situation and the lack of timeouts.
Now, the one guy that you may want to watch if you're Florida State is Porosky, the tight end. He's 6'7". He's right in here on the inside of the formation right now.
Ponder in the gun. Reed, Goodman, and Fortson his wideouts. Porosky, as Todd mentioned, is the tight end. Ponder, end zone, and flags down. I'm not sure that makes that much of a difference.
No. Pass interference. Defense number 1. Ball be placed on the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
Miami got good pressure on Ponder. Josh Holmes came from the inside and I think forced Ponder to throw this sooner than he wanted to. There's the pressure, and the ball's high.
Yeah, he took a big hit. So now it's at the 2-yard line. with only 14 seconds left.
The only difference now, you can spike the ball if you run it and don't get in.
Ponder, the fade, Fortson, incomplete. Brandon Harris was there. 9 seconds left. 2 plays left. Ja'Cory Harris can only look on to his defense.
Well, that's good defense by Brandon Harris. You know, Fortson actually pushed him coming off the ball and didn't get called, and Harris was able to scramble right back in position to make the play.
We've only got time for 2 plays. This big ACC game has come down to this. Christian Ponder in the shotgun. Florida State at the Miami 2-yard line. Ponder backpedals, lofts it to the back of the end zone, incomplete. And now we've got 1 play to go.
Well, we saw Ja'Cory Harris make a poor throw for the same reason. Backpedaling and not setting his feet to make an accurate throw. And now it's down to 1 play.
You saw Bobby Bowden in Jimbo Fisher's ear a little bit there. He'll send his quarterback out, and it all comes down to 1 play.
Well, they got to get the play called and get ready. The play clock is down to 10 right now. You don't want to rush the snap here.
4 wideouts for Ponder. Rolls to his right. Throws. Caught. Touchdown. No. Incomplete. I thought Fortson had it. The Canes have survived. What a finish. What a ball game. What could have been for Christian Ponder. Here's another look.
Designed roll, you give the quarterback the option. If it's not there, he might be able to run. He's got Fortson open. The ball is thrown a little bit low, but he had his man open.
Fortson going down and just couldn't keep his hands underneath it. Wow, what a ball game. And you'll see the reaction. Florida State's thinking they've got it, just like I thought they had it. What a tough ball game. Christian Ponder thought it was a touchdown as well. And Ja'Cory Harris keeping his cool on the sideline. What a game he had. He's so tired he's just going to trot out there to celebrate. Here's one more look from behind Ponder as he let go. This is what he was looking at. The ball hit the turf as Fortson just couldn't keep his 2 hands cupped underneath it. And there you see the ball on the garnet grass in the end zone, but we are reviewing it. Official review just to make sure. What a sight after 4 hours. All the team down on their respective sidelines holding their breath, waiting for the official verdict. It'll come from Jeff Flanagan.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass, and time expired.
And now the celebration can start in earnest for the Hurricanes officially. It is one of the best games you'll ever see on an opening weekend in college football. Your final score, Miami 38, Florida State 34. And they've done this 54 times. I don't know that there's ever been one that's come down to the last snap in the end zone on a pass play. And Randy Shannon's got a huge way to get his season underway. And a deflating loss for Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles, who had plans to open up their season at home with a win. So for the first time ever, Bobby Bowden loses at Doak Campbell Stadium in a home opener. 6 lead changes. 3 of them came in the fourth quarter. Ja'Cory Harris, 386 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Christian Ponder, 294 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. What a game for the sophomore quarterback of Miami. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Well, you were just Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collective through this whole game, but I have to ask you, as these seconds ticked away over here, what were you thinking on your sideline?
Man, I was just thinking, man, my team fought through this so long and so hard, all this preparation, and it came down to this. And, you know, our defense, I know they was going to pull through at the end because that's what they've been doing. They've been doing it the whole summer and just working hard.
I have to ask you this because we don't have a confirmation. What happened to your arm when you got hit?
Oh, man, it was just a bad funny bone incident. My whole arm went numb. And, you know, it's something that you got to fight through. I had to help this team win, and it ain't too bad, so I'm all right.
How were you able to fight through when your arm was numb and leave them on a scoring drive right there?
And I just had to throw it with my first 2 fingers. I couldn't grip the ball with my pinky, so just had to find a way to get the job done, and that's what I did.
Hey, go celebrate with your teammates. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
A tough night for Christian Ponder, a great night for Ja'Cory Harris, a great night for college football. What a finish. Don't forget SportsCenter is coming up next. Final score, Miami 38, Florida State 34. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Todd Blackledge, Aaron Andrews, and our entire crew, Brad Nessler, good night from Tallahassee.